Okay.
Hello, everybody. What is happening on this beautiful Tuesday evening? Coming to you guys live from Dallas, Texas. We've got some big stakes action here, or at least mid-stakes, but a lot of action, as we know from last Tuesday, that these guys are here to mix it up and have a good time. And we got the same bunch of guys here splashing around this evening, so should be a really good time. Looking forward to it. I'm Aaron McAvoy, hanging out with you, as always, out of Austin and over there in the Dallas booth. What is going on? Eric Van Loosen, how you doing?
Doing well, brother. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing fantastic. I am happy to be here. It is my last Tuesday for a couple of weeks, as I will be jet-setting off to Las Vegas to go play in a bunch of World Series of Poker tournaments. Hopefully good things happen. Hopefully you guys see me on some live stream final tables. But, yeah, really happy to be here. Looking forward to the stream. And we've got the exact same kind of action that we had last Tuesday firing up here this evening. So should be a good time. All right, couple of fours and a deuce on the flop. We are running out a $50 PLO flip to get things started. And there is the steel wheel. Wow, the four of clubs, the lonely four of clubs hanging out there for his neighbor, and it doesn't matter what that hand has within it. You know, four with a friend, doesn't matter. Steel wheel is the goods.
Congrats, you won the test one.
All right, so we'll take a look around the table here as, you know, again, we had the same sort of lineup. I think it was, so again, this game was played last week while we were streaming. So this is the Tuesday game from last week, as we had, you know, our sort of OnTilt bros. We've got Corey, of course, in the mix. So had a little bit of an influencer type stream going, situation going on last week. We are continuing that, and here we are with Corey now over in the 7 seat. Switching sides, was in the 2 seat last time.
That's when you have to have it, though.
And once again, we got the 3-coin gear being represented heavily. Love to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Dusty back in, and we got Benham back in to play with these boys, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, a little bit of a different lineup. So some of the same crew, for sure, with the OnTilt guys and Corey, and then also Dusty over there. We also got Sam Queso, and yeah, no, this should be interesting. So it looks like we're playing
PLO. Bomb pot.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. So we did a flip, and now a bomb pot.
And then next
twist
we're going
this
to do.
week. Yeah.
And next we'll do Crazy Pineapple, followed by Indian Poker. I jest, of course. But here we are on the turns after we checked through the flop. Looking for a 3. Dusty has a 3. 3 no friend. And a 7 high flush on bottom, which is actually just like the super nuts. Up against King 10-10-5. So Dusty here in a massive spot to take the whole thing down. And sure enough, Benham is not going to improve on either board. Dusty here with a scooper pots it for 475. And Benham here, perhaps if he had a 3, something like that, he could mess around, maybe a straight on top, but he is going to let this go. And Dusty will take down the bomb pot to the tune of $350 profit. Taking a look here in the chat, we got JD, we got Alex, Poker Monkey, and Mitchell joining us already. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, as we've got about 27 of you fine folks hanging out with us already. Many more come on in here shortly, I'm sure.
No, Glenn's my guy. He's got to take game on.
Seat 5 is D-Boy. I haven't seen the face yet to see if I recognize him.
Yeah, do 7, 25.
OnTilt Eric, but no OnTilt Nick this week. Sam Queso is back, and Scott is back, so a lot of familiar faces.
Okay, not this hand.
And hopefully familiar action tonight.
Maybe next hand.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that it was going to be a lot of the same guys, but yeah, it's mostly just Corey and, as you said, one of the OnTilt brothers in the mix.
Trying to target Corey there, but
Sam Queso here going to start us off with a raise to 30 bucks. Cards didn't get scanned, so have some potential misreads incoming, but we're going to do the best that we can. Looks like OnTilt Eric is in the mix with a suited connector, as well as several other players. All right, here we go. Getting some cards read in.
So you owe me 18K.
As we head to a flop, 4 ways, maybe 5.
You do?
King high, two-tone.
How much you want to bet?
well, if I play for 30 minutes, he didn't say there was a time limit on it.
Poker Monkey here, going to be in Vegas June 18th through the 25th, doing the Seniors Tournament. Very good. Well, I hope you run good. The Seniors Tournament is getting bigger and bigger every single year. I think they pretty much break the records for turnout and top place. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic, right? I mean, the winner of the Seniors Tournament, I think, is making over $1 million or something, just like every year. Am I completely wrong about that?
No,
Or is that real life?
I think you're right. It's close to it, and the
You guys,
thing that I'm thinking about is, I really started playing Hold'em after the moneymaker boom and the online poker boom, and I'm 44, so a lot of the other guys and gals that kind of started playing around that same time might have been a few years older, and they're now hitting that 50-year-old mark and maybe a little older, and poker is still exciting for everybody that kind of grew with it from that era. So maybe it's just all of us are starting to get to that age. Scary for me, but I still got 6 years. So let's go.
Yeah, we're ever inching closer and closer to it. So I just pulled it up here on my phone. $765,000, 731 going to first place. Lonnie Hallett from Canada last year. So 765,000, not quite $1 million, but definitely 3/4. And this year, presumably going to be far in excess of that. The prize pool had 7.3 million in it, so the fact that first only got 765 is perhaps a little bit surprising. But WSOP does tend to do a bit of a flat payout structure, so it does make some sense from that perspective. But given that there were over 8,000 entries, $7+ million in the prize pool, yeah, there's a lot of money to be made in the Seniors Tournament. So best of luck to Poker Monkey. Best of luck to anyone playing that tournament or any of the other ones. Hopefully I'll run into you. If you see me out there in the bright yellow mustard hoodie or perhaps one of the other colors that I'll be bringing,
I'm gonna root for Poker Monkey. We don't need another Canadian to take down that tournament. Let's go Team America, Poker Monkey. Take it down. We don't have free health care. They do. So you take it down, and you'll pay for your health care the rest of your life with that 765 plus this year.
So we have to wait for Scott.
What a thing to look forward to, spending $750,000 on health care.
As we get older, baby, that's what we're going to need. We're going to need a new hip every now and then so we can, keep swinging with the misses and playing golf and all those other things. So
yeah,
I'm rooting for him.
I feel it. But whatever you spend it on, I hope you win it. And yeah, well, it's always the most exciting time of year because we get to keep up with all the people that we know, right? I mean, God, last year was such an absolutely incredible showing for the state of Texas. How many Texas locals won bracelets out there in Vegas last year, right? Like people that we know. I mean, Fireman Scott wins bracelet. God, I'm trying to think of who else. We had so many homegrown bracelets here
and a lot of deep
from the
runs.
state of Texas. Yeah. Which is absolutely incredible. So hopefully we have more of that. D-Boy here flopping well, over pair to the board. The 6 and a couple of trades out there. Our villain in the 4 seat here, leading for $30, getting raised by D-Boy, who is in the mask in the 5 seat. Can't really get a feel for whether or not we've seen him before with the mask on there. What do you think? Have you seen D-Boy before?
Not on the stream, but yeah, I know who he is. Definitely played with him in the room. So
okay.
Our villain we've obviously had on a couple times, but tournaments as well.
Wow, so our villain floats with the ace-queen high. Makes a lot of sense there. Has the backdoor clubs working, the 2 overcards. Sometimes ace high is just good against some of the draws, of course, right? Check, check, turn, and a nice little block value bet here from our villain on the end. Does get paid off by D-Boy, even with the 2 overcards coming off. And well played there, and of course a lucky turn card for our villain. And he tried to get rid of the nit button, but didn't. Did he muck his hand? Or was the game not on yet?
Not sure, because he definitely didn't get rid of it. But I was laughing at the toilet that was flushing in the background, as I believe one of our players had forgotten to silence his microphone. Lovely.
Happens to the best of us.
I'm gonna tell Nick to bring me food.
Quick shout out to Glenn. That's the dealer there in the box. Mr. G Money. Loves to play the mixed games here and splash around in some tournaments. Really fun guy, so glad to see him getting a shot at dealing tonight.
Poker Monkey here says, if I actually won good money, I'd play the main event again. Well, I hope you do. The main event is such a treat if anyone is able to play in that one. It is just absolutely incredible. And I mean, I encourage everyone that enjoys the game, enjoys playing tournaments, to play the main event. Obviously, $10,000 is not it's not something that just anyone can sort of come upon. So certainly, factor that into your bankroll management and everything. But if you have the means and really enjoy tournaments, there's nothing quite like the energy in that room when. Well, not just when the tournament starts, but like at every step of the way as you progress from day 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. I mean, it just keeps going, and that energy just keeps growing. And there's just something just truly incredible about it. I hope that feeling never gets lost, whether or not the WSOP and the main event and all of that continues to maintain its luster, or, what is, oftentimes the case is that there's sort of a changing of the guard and maybe a new tournament series or something comes along. You've got WSOP, you've got WPT, you've got all these different things going on. But at least for this era of our poker existence, the WSOP main event is the absolute pinnacle of poker, and it's so cool to be there each and every year. Dusty flopping the world with the King 10 of diamonds. Still not a made hand. It does bet and just take it down with the King high.
Just like that. But the 1-2 is still.
Bro, I played a bomb pot. Literally played one hand and got it all back. Played a bomb pot with his lead.
You see the lovely Miss Mallory on stage there in the background taking some pictures of these guys. She helps set up all of our lineups here in the TCH Dallas area, and we'll put her contact info up a little bit later if you guys are interested in playing on this live stream at some point.
Ready for 125.
Might have our 7-deuce game going as well as the nit button game, as we see OnTilt Eric here raising it up with the 7-dewey.
Yeah, so there was definitely talk about the nit game before the bomb pot. I didn't hear confirmation of the 7-deuce game, but one would suspect that it is on. Of course, OnTilt Eric definitely bringing the heat, as we saw last week. Very capable of coming in, getting after it, even if the 7-deuce game is not on, just to kind of, show a little bit of strength. But he's going to make the call up against the over pair, and he's going to flop bottom pair. Backdoor straight opportunity, ships it in and gets snapped off. I mean, he's basically just hoping that Corey has ace king, ace whatever. Oh wow, turns it up and downer, but that river is no good. Shows the deuce, shows the 7. Corey's like, wow, I thought maybe I just lost to like the rivered ace of spades, something ace X of spades just got there on me. But no. OnTilt
Yeah,
Eric
30K more. Like
shipping it.
Corey made him show it, said don't slow roll me.
Really,
The dynamic between these players is pretty fun. They like to mix it up and talk a little trash, so he was gonna make sure that he wouldn't get slow rolled there when he showed the deuce.
I turned to hard too. I could have hit her hard on the river.
Sometimes it's encouraged.
As Eric is counting that cash money.
I just can't.
Yeah.
Like,
Gonna
if you say you're
reload.
good, I need to see it.
So beautiful spot here for Corey right off the bat. I mean, if anybody that watched our show last Tuesday, Corey had really not much going on for probably the first 2 hours of the stream. It was just a lot of folding. It was kind of hanging out near the bottom of the RFI percentages. And now here we go. Set the pole position for the biggest stack as of right now.
Give this guy no more money. I already gave it to him.
Yeah, got to feel good for him after we watched him literally, like you said, just kind of sit there, just be a statue at the table, and really wasn't much he could do about it.
Yeah, and that happens, right? I mean, we tend to fixate on the hands that the players are both playing, like how they're raising, just kind of the attitude that they're bringing to the table while they're on a live stream, because of course it's entertainment. We're all here to enjoy the poker, but at the end of the day, like, we're lucky if we see 100 hands or right around 100 hands over the course of a live stream, right? I mean, that is just such a small sample size that you get somebody that's card dead, you get somebody that's getting hit by the deck, you have somebody that's just trying to win every hand, regardless of what they see, right? I mean, you get a little bit of everything, and sometimes it can, taint our view of what some of the players are doing. But at the end of the day, 100 hands, not a very large sample size. So Dusty here, going to turn a whole lot of nothing. OnTilt Eric still with flopped bottom pair, D-boy with a pair of jacks, and picking up a gutty. Going to go ahead and take a stab there and ship it.
Oh, yeah. First time ever?
Pretty sure tonight is again a match the stack like it was last week. Not a capped game, but we'll see if we get these stacks growing as big as they did last week, because they got pretty wild, pretty quick last week. Nobody taking the OnTilt Nick route, though, the buying in for 200 3 or 4 times, blasting away, and then next thing you know, he's in there with a couple grand and running up an 8K stack. So
yeah, that 8K stack didn't stick around
Sure
for
did.
very long, but he did have it at one point, and that was a pretty incredible sight to see. As the short buys into the massive stack into the dust. Some massive like hero calls, some big bluffs, just so much going on there. It was a really entertaining experience, as we are
sure,
going
we'll
to
say,
get.
yeah. It was fun while it lasted, Nick.
Yeah, we're gonna get a big squeeze here from our villain out of the big blind with the 4-3 suited Venom, making the call with 7-6 off. Neither player connecting with this board outside of the flush draw, the butt flush draw for our villain. Ships it in, shows down the 4 high, and Venom's like, I mean, good play, dude. I had 7 high, and no chance to continue. And when these are the sorts of hands that are getting showed down in the nit game, you know you're at a good table, right?
Absolutely.
Like, these guys are willing to squeeze and get after it with 4 high. And whether or not you like win in a hand where your opponent is messing around with 4 high, it's about the range extension that players are willing to make in order to play this sort of side game or whatever nit game dynamic that makes the game so incredible for you. And then you just gotta sort of roll with the punches, because you're gonna lose sometimes. Ben here raising it up with a couple of jacks.
Yeah, a lot of pairs showing up here early on. See if we can't get a spiked set somewhere. There's another pair there for OnTilt Eric. 4s, jacks, and 6s.
Check. Check.
What a flop for Sam Queso here.
I'm from New Hampshire, Boston area. Yeah. Pretty much. Just staying with Nick, actually. You know Nick? Oh, his partner. OnTilt. Yeah.
You sit down here just to play poker?
Yeah, just hang out with a few friends, play poker.
Heads up.
You from here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You grew up here?
I grew up like just outside of it, like in East Texas. And then I went to
That's
SMU.
all in.
Venom here stuffing it
Oh, nice.
I wasn't sure.
for 823 effective into 500 basically. So this is an over bet.
I wasn't sure if he came down
Sam
for
Queso
school.
here,
Okay.
I think his hand is just simply too good to be folding. And yeah, he does kind of begrudgingly call. It is kind of awkward. You have sort of the kind of cards that you want your opponent to have
That's pretty tough to beat.
as like, you know, the 10 of spades, both good and bad for you when paired with the 8 of spades. It's just kind of two hands that just played themselves here.
Dude, that place sucks. The worst in the
And
country.
Venom getting the max value, putting all the chips in on the turn, sort of recognizing that all the draws and
Oh, I mean, the room's
pair
nice.
plus flush draw, pair plus straight draw, these sorts of things are going to only be willing to put the money in now, right? Once the river comes, they've either got it or they don't. So let's go for the overbet jam. And yeah, just a bit of a tricky spot there for Sam Queso. Your hand is just too good to fold. And if he doesn't get there, they run it one time. He'll need to reload.
Been kind of listening to Corey, getting himself familiar and vice versa with Dusty over there. Dusty's been a good tournament player and cash player for a long time, and probably doesn't watch a lot of the the vloggers and social media influencers. So she's kind of getting to know Corey and this group and what they do. But if y'all don't know, Dusty is definitely a poker crusher, both here locally and nationally.
Oh, really? What part?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what Texas is going to do again this year. Of course, we now have so many transplants that people will
I
win
grew up in New Hampshire.
that have become local players, right? They've moved here in the last maybe 1, 2, or 3 years, something like that, and are going to have massive success out in Las Vegas for the WSOP, but maybe some of the side events, right? I mean, you've got all the other venues that are running big tournaments as well. So a lot of success is going to be attributed to Texas players, at least insofar as they're where they call home as of now. So often now, what ends up happening is that it'll be like this guy from Switzerland, won this tournament, so they say he's from Switzerland. It's like, well, he lives in Dallas now,
Right.
or somebody who's from New Mexico, like myself, as far as Hendon Mob and some of these things are concerned, and all of my results are going to be attributed there instead of Texas. But when you play poker here in Texas and you get to know each other, particularly on the tournament circuit series, kind of sort of situation, as all these tournament series happen around the state, you kind of start to know who's who and everything, and we'll know who's winning out there when they
absolutely.
bring home the cheddar.
And of course, a lot of you guys and gals who weren't necessarily born here, the old saying, you got here as fast as you can, and you've kind of adopted Texas, and obviously we've adopted y'all. And the poker scene is just so awesome in the great state of Texas.
So OnTilt Eric here, after getting his balls busted with the 7 deuce earlier, is getting after it here. Jack 4 of diamonds, Omega bluff coming through, and Dusty with just ace high on the end loses to Jack 10, loses to a flopped king. Does a queen ever go this big? Maybe ace queen just for max value, right? Trying to target the queen jack, the queen 10, blocks the straight, has showdown value, doesn't have a club maybe, right? There's a lot of sort of different possibilities for value. And yet Dusty here is seemingly a non-believer.
I'm definitely rooting for the call. See if
I mean, this would be a sick fucking call.
Absolutely.
I don't really think we have anything.
So many other aces can beat her too.
Ace 10 plus, right? Ace 10, ace jack, ace. It's really just those. She does let it go and gets shown the jack
Almost
high.
ace high.
She did think about it longer than most players would.
Sure.
If she had different suits, I think it would be.
Literally, if it wouldn't have been the 9.
Yeah. Says if it wouldn't have been the 9. Yeah, because the jack 10 just got there. It does make a lot of sense. She didn't have a jack or a 10. Yeah.
I just saw it move a little bit.
I'm blind.
Would have been incredible, though. She just was like, yeah, let's see what's going on. Makes the call and gets to take it down with the ace 7 of clubs there. That'd be pretty spicy.
Raise to 35. Fold. Heads up.
Add 100, by the way. There'll be a chance.
4 is adding 100. Yep.
All right, East 9-8 two-tone here. It's going to be an up and downer for our villain, OnTilt Eric, with the.
I gave you 5 black. Or you want this?
Just the king high. Best hand at the moment, but our villain takes it down with c-bet.
You fucked up.
This one's sacred.
Yeah, you fucked up.
Yeah, I knew he bet. I didn't get to see how much he bet.
You never
He
get
doesn't have his knit buttons. I don't think he was going crazy and ripping it there.
It was never coming out of either one of our stacks.
But yeah, speaking of the knit game, I mean, we have just very quickly whittled down to only a couple of players. I mean, unless I'm missing one hiding behind a wrist or something, we're down to 2 players, are we not?
That's what I'm seeing.
Raise to 35. Fold forward. Then I'm good action going. Calls 35.
Here,
You're in the big blind.
getting called back to the table from the big blind. Going to go ahead and make the fold. Dusty's in there, though. She is one of those players with a knit button next to her name, but I don't see one on the felt.
Yeah, she got rid of hers.
Okay, so
First,
no
actually, she was
player.
the first one, I think.
Yeah, I think no players have a knit button in this hand. Yeah, hers is definitely long gone. Dusty, though, with the pair of 4s, going to stick around. She's once again up against the jack high. This time it's our villain working with the flush draw, picking up a wheel draw as well. Slam dunk continue spot for our villain.
115.
It's going to make it 115 into 210. And pair of 4s with no real hope of improvement. Pretty dusty for Dusty, but she's going to raise. Very interesting spot now for our villain, who has a hand that is actually getting a good price to continue just to make the call in position. But it's one of those spots where you almost are like, wait, what do you have? Like, I'm the pre-flop aggressor. How are you raising me on this board? It's almost not possible for you to have anything other than like a turned set of deuces. I don't know. It's very strange. Those spots are always so weird when you get check raised on a board that just doesn't really make a lot of sense. As it stands, Dusty will finish with the best of it if we get to showdown, but now she has to decide how she's going to play this one. Excuse me, I didn't even see that river. It was 4 hearts, and she just drills it. So never mind. She's happy to continue betting here. It's our villain who is now sitting on just the worthless jack high, and he has an easy fold. Gel here in the chat asking on X how often are y'all live? Well, we live stream cash games 3 to 4 times a week here on TCH Live, as well as final tables out of Dallas for our big tournaments going on up there, usually on Saturdays. We will mix in some other sort of big final tables from tournament series, usually on Sundays or Mondays, depending on when those series are run and sort of how big the tournament is. But by and large, you can check us out here on TCH Live, you know, somewhere between 3 and 5 times a week, pretty regular. So definitely most Tuesdays we are running this game, and we'll be happy to have you come back, Joe.
I have no idea where it's going.
He's gonna lose the game.
That man doesn't give a fuck.
Raised to 175.
Scott is not around. He's one of the players still with a knit button.
Yeah, that is a minus EV play. If you have a knit button remaining and there's only a few players left in the game, you really need to see every hand to fight for your equity, because I mean, there's if they're playing $50 ahead, which it may be more than that, but if they're playing 50 ahead, I mean, just losing the game immediately nets you a minus 400 loss, right? It's a swing of 450 really, because you would have gotten paid 50 the other way around.
Let's see if Ace Poker takes this opportunity to. Nope, just straight in the muck.
Over there having a conversation on the rail. Yeah, I think the straddle there is the play. Anytime you're down to 2 in particular, but anytime it's down to just a few players, 2 or 3, if you have the opportunity to straddle and secure yourself last action pre-flop, that is a massive win for you.
Yeah, come in the pod.
Corey raises, gets called by 2 dominating 9s from the button and the small blind. Straddle comes along as well, so 4 players to a flop, 5 high, 2 tone, and ace 9 high for both Venom and Dusty is the best of it at the moment.
Check.
Board pairing deuce on the turn, changes nothing, ace high is still best. Checks all the way to Venom on the button, who puts a little tickle out there for 50, and Dusty calls, same hand. We're chopping this up every day of the week, and sometimes on Tuesdays, especially on Tuesdays. That's what it is. So my first 2 nights out in Vegas, I'm going to be at the Gold Coast Hotel and Casino over by the Ola Rio.
Okay.
And they got Ping Pang Pong there, which I have just been told is one of the better Asian restaurants in that part of town. And I'm pretty excited. Ping Pang Pong. Yeah. Here's the thing. So I usually have stayed at like Airbnb type places across from the Rio, right? Like, you know, most of my WSOP experience up until the last 2 years has been at the Rio. So stayed at those sorts of venues, whatever, nearby, and would always walk past the Gold Coast, would always maybe even drop in there to get a sandwich at Subway or whatever. It was right next to the Rio, so, you know, sort of good, cheap eats right there. And on the side of the building, they have this giant mural advertisement for Ping Pang Pong. And I've always kind of looked at it, and, you know, the food that they've painted on the side of the building looks good. But I've never gone, and I'm going this time around. Maybe not on Friday when I get in, but probably Saturday will be my goal. If I get busted out of the tournament, that is.
If they sell Ping Pang Pong shirts, I'm a size large, and I will ship you some money. I would like a Ping Pang Pong shirt, Aaron.
Okay, I will check the merchandise at the restaurant.
It just seems like not only do I need to try the restaurant someday, but I need a shirt that says Ping Pang Pong.
And then I put up 5.
Indeed you do. As do we all. Our villain going to flop bottom pair. Backdoor clubs working. Sam Queso here is on the 7 Dewey, and he is going to bet 200, excuse me, 175 into
50 to win 11 to 50?
what,
How do we go? How did I put more and get less?
50? Excuse me, 275.
I swear when it gets here, I'm dipping. I don't like win.
Yeah, Nick's not playing.
Villain makes the call here. A little bit of an awkward spot, is in position, makes some sense, but these are the sorts of cards that will peel off and give your opponent a lot of chances to continue barreling whether they have it or not, and it's just really tough to hold on with bottom pair if you don't pick up a club draw or just like miraculously bink an ace or an 8. Sam Queso here is going to ship it as he's only got pot-sized bet remaining, and it goes in the middle. Does our villain find the hero call?
Yeah, it looks like Sam Queso was actually holding a knit button under that right wrist of his, so we missed one.
Wow, our villain makes a call, and right you are. There is the third one over there.
Gets the straight. He gets the
oh my
he gets the
God!
straight. He gets the all-in hero call. Binks the straight. No queen.
Our villain gets it in unreasonably good with fourth pair. Fourth pair
What a river!
was way ahead, and the straight connects. Wait, did everybody just pay him, or did?
Yeah, he got paid.
How much was it? Sorry,
it was 50. Yeah,
50 ahead. Okay,
50 ahead. So he gets rid of the knit button, wins, doubles up, and gets the extra 400 with the 7 deuce binked straight on the river.
Yeah, I mean that was the most incredible win, to get rid of your knit button, to hit that card, to win. I mean, what the hell is that, right? Those are the sorts of like low equity spots that when you bink them, just clear out so much of the run bad that you've ever had. You're just like, that hand. That hand, I need more of those. Those are good. Those are great for me. Please, can we have more of those?
Crazy.
Everyone chuckling about it too. You can imagine that our player with the fourth pair that made the correct call off, losing there feels pretty bad. But everyone else pretty excited about it. As Scott now with the knit button on the button,
I didn't know you were here.
going to flat the 7 deuce.
Flat
Oh
seven
no!
deuce, yeah.
No.
It was funny. It was the same. It was the other dude. He was sitting there too.
I disagree with that play. However, it does not get raised, so no more money will go in the pot, and he's going to flop a bad gut shot.
Didn't quite see that there.
The timing of it was perfect.
Checks all the way through. The king comes in, so that gut shot no longer exists as the queen for our villain. It's not only making the king high straight, but also has a flush redraw.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he.
They're like, you got Tourette's?
Yeah, like, what's up?
You got niche? Sneeze silently?
That's 60. Nobody can continue, and yeah, it's one of those spots where you almost rather check a hand like the queen 6 of hearts, just because, like, if nobody has a queen, what are they gonna do? Like, I guess maybe call 60 with something like turn top and bottom pair or something bright. It checked through the flop, so nobody's gonna have king jack there.
Nope.
Yeah, it's weird.
Golden opportunity missed by Scott there, but he just added another 1,000 to the stack. So
Nick doubled up.
see if he
through Eric on the
wants to
second
mix it
hand,
up with a
and
different
everybody
hand here.
immediately just went into their pockets and threw it.
Yeah, I think there's a place to play 7 deuce passively when the 7 deuce game is on, but it's a very niche spot, right? Like, you kind of have to recognize that when you're playing the 7 deuce game, you are replacing your bluffs, your natural bluffs, with 7 deuce. And that's what you're doing. And if you're playing 7 deuce passively, really kind of goes against the grain. But to each their own. And he didn't really lose that much. He was in for 35 and then was like, oh, cool, I guess I lose, and was folded. Also fair play. King high rainbow flop. 4 players still in the mix here. Sam Queso with the best of it. Trip 8s for middle set. Dusty. Bottom pair, backdoor flush opportunities, and some backdoor straight opportunities for some of these players as well, but really not a whole lot going on here. Dusty is going to bet. Sam Queso just makes the call on the button. Rainbow flop and full Badoogie turn. This is the super nuts. You're like, please, Dusty, would you like to bet again?
Yeah.
And if you do, I hope it's because you have something like King Queen, and you will give me all of your money.
Would you like to increase the wager, ma'am? Please.
Yeah, and third pair is weird. When you bet the flop with third pair and get called, you kind of feel like you need to keep telling a story that your hand is a little bit better than it actually is. You block two pairs, you block sets, but you could be up against a straight draw where maybe you just have the best hand, and maybe you could just keep hammering away and get someone with a weak king to fold by the river. So, you know, or certainly an 8 is going to fold here on the turn. So, makes some sense to continue betting. She does. But Sam Queso not only has 1 8, but he has 2 of them in his hand and is going nowhere. Just makes the call. Stacked pot ratio is under 1.
Oh, it's hilarious. That's like probably my
Four
favorite.
hearts
like,
peels
ever.
off.
Like,
6-5, the only improvement here.
Then he goes, oh, that's what I get.
Oh, Palmer's a bitch.
Yeah.
Standard
awesome.
viewpoint. Dusty now has to decide, does she try to get a king to fold?
wanted you to ship the flop. That's why.
Yeah, she went 2/3 pot last time.
Well, it didn't matter whether you called or
1,500 out there.
He was open ended.
1.4K effective. She's going to check it, though. Slow down.
Queen Jack 7.
Yeah, 6-5 just got there. The other side of what she hopes Sam Queso has is the 9-10.
I just called, just think the 8.
And
he all in. My chips are in the middle.
with only half of the sort of, I mean, obviously some 9-6s in there as well, perhaps, but she's just going to check it over, sort of see what develops. But pair of 7s. I mean, she told a very credible story of, like, I have a very strong king, and I'm betting, and then now she's checking and doesn't actually have a king. So she's gotten called twice. Her opponent is betting on the river. She's got a pretty dusty hero calling sort of hand.
I thought he might have had a set. Like, I might have had to fade the board pair.
I mean, she's kind of only giving him credit for 5-6 at this point. Kind of wondering what else for value would bet this river, and that is a good question. But she finds the correct laydown.
8s?
And a nice fold by Dusty.
Was that close? Had to be 8s then.
That was minimum set of kings.
Somebody just said 7s are good. Okay, fine. You had 8s.
I thought he had 5, 6, or 9, 10.
He said, no, I had kings.
You had you minimum have kings.
Either way, nice hand, nice hand. Boney Turgeson says, hello, TCH fam. Hope you all had a great weekend. Gonna have a great week. Let's get some good action. Amen.
Perhaps I could get a good hand dealer.
Yeah, I hope everybody in Texas has had a safe few days. Tell a story after this hand's over. I got caught in some nasty, nasty weather coming home from a little fun card game session last night here at TCH, and thought I was going to die. But I'm here today. I hope everybody else is alive and kicking. Still got their roof over their head. Nasty storms.
Please let me have
that is for sure, man. I definitely feel pretty spoiled down in Austin. We do get some pretty nasty weather from time to time, but by and large we have avoided any of the really tumultuous stuff that has been plaguing the state of Texas here this last week, and this has been no exception. We have had very mild weather here as of late. We're very fortunate, as you mentioned. Several areas with many people around the state have suffered tremendously. Turn pair of kings here for Dusty is the best hand, and ace poker, though, going to continue blasting away with 6 high. Gets rid of the knit button, and there it is. Scott's going to need to pay this one out.
I'm going to call him Potty Break Scott. He's going to have to get rid of his knit button after missing quite a few hands.
Oh, because technically you can still win your money back.
Yeah. No. I thought
So they were only doing 25 for the knit game, but 50 for 7 deuce. Interesting.
No, 225 because you put yourself, you buy yourself in.
I presume you have to do 2 of them.
Yeah, because 25 ahead and then yourself.
Yeah, okay. That probably makes sense. Probably is 50, but they're going to do it twice, maybe.
I could be wrong, but that's what they were doing the other times that they were playing as a splash pot. Oh, but they're yeah, they are playing it as a splash pot. I was like, wait, are they playing this as a bomb pot? No, it is a splash pot. Corey here is going to straddle to 10.
I literally rebought 100 just to play the splash pot.
Can't get there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of
Always
All
one
right,
part
so
away.
Benham again, opening to 90. The ace-9 of diamonds. A 9x open, given the fact that there is 225 hanging out in the middle.
This is the before the button.
On tilt, Eric makes the call from the big blind with 8-5 off. Corey's now in there with 10-7 and ace-9 with about half the equity between these 3 players and in position, believe it or not, opening from under the gun.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Just think of reverse implied when you think of splash pot.
King queen 6, rainbow flop. No one connecting with the board, but quick check to Benham, who's like, I don't know, king high.
Those cards got folded before he even got a chip out there. Lord of mercy.
He picks up not only the calls pre-flop, but all that dead money from the knit game. And I don't see another 225 going out there, so maybe it is only a single splash pot for a quarter. Quarter ahead.
I told Nick, you want to be a profitable?
Yeah, well, back to the Storm stuff, Aaron, man. I definitely kind of relearned one of those life lessons during this season when there's storms around and it's kind of a regular thing. Just open up your Weather Channel app and check it before you get out in this mess, because I was so clueless last night that we were even going to have weather. Played in a fun session, little 1-2 action last night. Had a nice night. Cashed out and was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to Whataburger because I'm a fat ass and that's what I do at 4 in the morning. I get to Whataburger and their lights go off, but there's no rain. Like everything just went black. And as he's handing me the food, we just got bombarded by rain. I made it 4 miles towards my house and literally never been driving in a situation like this where like I just could not see. It was like waves hitting my windshield, whitewash, and had to pull into some sort of condo or apartment complex and pulled under a carport and called my mom because I thought I was going to die. I mean, it was 100-mile-an-hour winds, and the carport that I was under flipped over, ripped from the ground, and was just being destroyed over the top of me as I'm in a fetal position eating French fries in my back seat. I've never felt so small.
So for those of y'all that don't know what Eric looks like, he is not a small man. So to imagine him curled up fetal position in the back seat of his own car is pretty hilarious and also terrifying.
Yeah. One of our dealers
glad
here.
you made it.
One of our dealers here at TCH, he is the tallest dealer in America, Stoney, taller than the guy that deals down there in Austin, but he's 7'1". He called me. He called me to call me a little bitch because he saw a video I posted and told me what a little B I was. He said, "No, I'm kidding." He's like, "I'm in my apartment," and he had just called his mom to tell her goodbye too because he thought he was gonna die. So. I'm glad we all made it. I'm making light of it now, but obviously we lost some lives in Texas this week. So anytime you can come out of a bad storm like that and get humbled a little bit by having to get your big ass in a fetal position on the floorboard eating Whataburger, I'll take that any day as my life was spared. But, man, it was rough. I'll tell you what, it was rough. Texas weather is no joke, and it just seems like, you know, it just spreads more and more. I mean, Houston got that downtown tornado that hit them a few weeks back, and Temple, Texas had one, and 3 nights ago we had one north of here in the north of Denton. So kind of just going all around us, but
Unconscious, obviously.
Yeah.
blessed to still be here talking poker with you, brother.
Absolutely right, man. And once again, I mean, just so fortunate here in the Austin area. We got a little bit of geography that helps us out here in this part of the state. That,
Yep.
You know, we'll get some really big, nasty rains and some wind even that'll come whipping through, but it just does not form the same kind of storm system.
I'm still waiting for
Tell them
you
I
to
gotta
merge.
use the restroom to snatch it.
Just the culmination of all of that
Just count it. I'm gonna take it.
does not just really wipe us out here, and we're very fortunate for it. I've had a couple of sort of like flooding type situations where, you know, the drainage, pretty much anywhere in a state like Texas where it's just mostly flat, the drainage is always the issue. So, you know, you get too much rain all at once, and it's like, oh, cool, well, now I have this giant puddle that's becoming a lake in my backyard or whatever. Certainly had some issues very much related to that, but man, I am very glad that I have not experienced a tornado or anything quite like it.
Yeah, I thought I liked storms, and I was tough. I was a tough guy. I went through Hurricane Harvey in Houston back in 2017 and saw the flooding and devastation, and I was like, oh yeah, no big. I'm just in a normal storm here, but it got real scary real quick, man.
Raise to 175.
All right, real scary real quick here. Benham out of the small blind, making it 175 to go over an open to 35 and a call in between.
Bro, that's
Looking to spice this one up.
no. We
Take
paid
out a
it
trailer
on,
park or two with a couple of jiggities here. And Sam Queso out of the way. I mean, that's not the best joke I've ever dropped, but you know, I was just sticking with the theme.
Oh, remind me to tell you one I heard off air that landed just as hard as your trailer park joke.
Okay, all right. Overpaired to the board for Benham, far and away the best of it as our villain going to double flat.
Who is this?
And see this flop with ace high.
Oh, yeah?
He stuck around with much more meager holdings previously. And sure enough, is going to float out of, in position with the two overs. Safe turn card here for Benham. You can imagine some sort of like 9-8 suited, things of that nature. 7-6 suited. It could be in there, but there's only two combos of that, clubs and the spades variety. So you either are like way ahead or way behind.
Yeah, literally, I was playing it like a tournament. I was like, fuck
May
this.
as well continue betting. 550 is the wager, and our villain heads for the exit. Says ace high. Probably just no good.
Thank you, man.
And then T1000 was like, fuck this. I'm playing a tournament, brother. You guys might be playing the cash game. I'm playing this.
All right, looking at PFR, Benham here, far and away leading that statistic, 32%. Scott has not raised a hand yet out of the 25 that we have played. Still relatively low sample size, but D-Boy and Ace Poker only raising one hand themselves.
No, we didn't. We just played the cash game. Wow, that's sick, bro.
Raise to 30.
Ace Poker here, ace 8 of spades. Corey with a suited wheel ace, just going to make the call against the early position open. Sometimes calling, sometimes raising. Against the early position does make sense. Going to do a lot more 3-betting perhaps from a late position opener, one might presume, but by just calling is going to invite the field to come along, and the field do indeed. We are going to go 6 ways to a flop, queen high, 2-tone, and nobody flopping a pair.
Queen Jack for Scott there, yeah.
It's too many hands. I'm like,
too many damn hands, yeah.
And there it is, queen jack. Gutty for Benham. He's going to float on the button. Dusty making the call with 3 to a straight, 3 to a flush. And she picks up a lot of equity here on the turn. Scott continues to bet his top pair, this time for a little over half pot. Venom now double gutted. He's going to make the call, and Dusty's like, good lord, my hand is
Here we go.
really looking pretty juicy for this price.
Turn the camera.
It is a little bit awkward because the question obviously arises. If I make the call and hit my hand, do I just lead or do I check and hope to check raise? But obviously, like the 10, maybe not the scariest card. The heart, maybe a little bit scarier. I don't know. Yeah, I think a pretty good candidate to just make the call, actually.
Logic checks out for me.
And then hope to check raise on the river. Scott continues to barrel. He's like, the bottom card pairing shouldn't change anything. I got a jack kicker, probably best. That's out of there. Interesting hand. That was a fun one.
That was, yeah, Scott getting all that knit button game. He lost back and then some. And he's rocking a new South Park caricature there for his card protector. Looks like some outfit of Eric Hartman's. Let's see if we can't figure out what that is, but I think it's an Eric Hartman caricature.
I like it when somebody's got like a little stick, you know, something that they do. He very much has the South Park little bobbleheads or fat heads or whatever the hell you call it. I don't even know what you call it, but just figure. He's got one every time, and he's got must have a lot of them at home. 975 rainbow flop. Ace high, still best.
That's 50.
Just us?
Do you collect anything, Eric? Is that like a thing that you do?
No, I don't. You know, as a kid, I did the baseball cards, and in my early or late teens and early 20s, I collected, I think, the beer tops for bottle tops, and for all the different beers that I had tried. I had hundreds of them, and Mom didn't like her son drinking, and she found them and threw them away. But that's okay, because I quit drinking long ago anyway, so they weren't really something I needed to keep. But
okay.
But yeah, not a big collector.
Oh my God, are you bet anything else holding?
I feel like I miss out on some of that stuff, though. And I hear about guys that are still into collecting sports cards because they have some pretty good value, you know, with a lot of these athletes that have gotten such crazy celebrity status now that, you know, there's some money to be made buying and selling cards. But I know coins are a thing, and I definitely was way too late to the Bitcoin thing, but I know people still collect actual coins. What about yourself? Are you a collector of anything?
No, not really. So, yeah, I went through phases as a kid. I inherited just like some old pennies, and I mean, it was not valuable, right? Like, I think back on it now as an adult, many years later, decades later, right? And I'm like, wow, like, did I have something? No,
right.
I had a bunch of old, you know, the wheatback pennies. You know, maybe one or something of the steel pennies or something would have been worth a few dollars or whatever, just from a rarity standpoint. But nothing that I had was by any means a real numismatic like gem. I did have more baseball cards than I have now. I have one little box of baseball cards, mostly garbage from the early to middle 90s, which was kind of when I started collecting. And there were just so many cards made then. You know, and for decades there had been so many cards made. I mean, you could probably find some, you know, 70s baseball cards and stuff that were still going to be worth something if it was the right player. But the stuff made during the 90s was so mass-produced that you're never getting a card that's worth more than $20, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not happening. So I had more than what I have now, but I had kept some stuff in a storage unit where my dad was living, and you know, like the roof caved in or something during a rainstorm, and everything got flooded, and so like a bunch of stuff just got like sort of wrecked. And so like the one thing that I remember, and I have no idea if it would have ever been worth anything, but I was in Denver when the Rockies, or I was in Colorado when the Rockies became a team. And the inaugural year, my parents bought me a baseball card set. It was the first year of the Rockies, whatever, and it was like the foil print, whatever, collector's edition bullshit. And I had it in binders, like all sleeve protected from the moment I opened it. So they were mint, and they were going to be mint, and I could have just held on to it forever, and maybe in 70 years it would have been worth something. That got wrecked in that rainstorm, and that was pretty much the only thing that I know that I ever collected that might have been something.
Yeah, anytime I think of picking up something else, you know, starting a record collection or buying stuff, I'm just like, you know, there's always just something else priority-wise, financially, that comes up that I feel like spending my money on, you know.
Yeah, which, I mean, I think is good. I mean, when we think about investment, most people don't think about things like collector's items, artwork, things like that. It tends to kind of be more of a niche investment avenue or item or whatever you want to call that. But I will say that from what little I know about it, if you invest in something that has known fungibility, right? And by that I mean something that you can arguably place value upon. It has been sold for this amount. There are records of this thing being sold for X amount in the past, and it's a known quantity. Those things actually appreciate quite well, beating inflation quite handily, and are in the realm of stocks and all of those things that just sort of go up over time. Again, this is not investment advice by any means, but from what little I understand, those things just don't lose value. Like, you're never going to see, like, oh, there's only 100 of these Magic cards or baseball cards, and then the value goes down because, like, somebody just decided it wasn't worth as much anymore. That doesn't happen. So there are certain things that, you know, you can invest in and we'll see appreciate value. The one tricky thing about it, though, is anyone that's watched Pawn Stars or, you know, something like that, maybe you get one of these really niche items that does have a quantifiable value as far as its purchase history, but finding someone at the moment that you want to sell it that will pay more than you bought it for can be tricky, right? I mean, how many times do these people go in and, like, show this card or whatever it is to a Pawn Stars guy, and they're like, yeah, well, you know, we got 2 of those already, so I'll give you 30K instead of the 50 that you want. What are you gonna do? Who else is gonna buy that card from you? You know, you got to pay rent, you got to pay off your car, a boat, whatever. I mean, maybe you got to sell it for less.
Here we go.
So those are tricky.
I usually think that about most.
That's not my
Corey taking down another pot there, putting in a big 3-bet pre with Ace Jack. We just had our numbers come up for the stack sizes. Looks like Dusty was kind of hanging out at the bottom right now.
Yeah, she's often want to sort of stack up, add on, and kind of hang with the big boys, but it looks like she's going to short stack it here for a little bit, try to just spin it up from there.
Yeah, everybody tuning in. There's about 87 of y'all currently. A little bit less than we're used to, but this game was recorded last week, our Tuesday night game. That Mr. Aaron McAvoy and I get to commentate. Usually plays a little bit bigger than this, but we've got some kind of social media influencers and folks that wanted to do a couple nights with us, and we were glad to have them on. Playing 2-5, and it's a matchless stack game, so we're hoping it gets a little bit bigger and wilder as the night goes on.
I'm pretty sure, given what we saw last time and the fact that we've got Benham, Dusty, Scott, all familiar, playing at higher, sort of higher buy-ins, higher stakes, right? I don't think we're going to have any problems there. The cards just kind of need to line up, you know, crash some big hands into each other. Here we go, aces and 8s on the end for Corey, aces and 6s with a king kick in for Dusty. We're just going to get to showdown here for the 470 in the middle, as neither player really thinking about trying to get value out of their opponent. Definitely makes a lot of sense. Corey will chip up just a little bit more things going much better for him here this evening. Knock on wood, no jinx.
No jinx.
Corey
Not trying to jinx you, buddy. I know last stream, both he and OnTilt Nick kind of took off at the same time after just running into it over and over and over again.
Yeah, sucks getting buried when you're kind of the star attraction or whatever. Anytime you're on a stream game and you know, it's kind of like your picture's in the thumbnail and then you just get wrecked the whole night. You're like, nah, that was me. Thanks for watching.
And the knit button is on again.
Yeah, knit game on. Scott opening to 40 and ace poker here. Beautiful ace jack off. It is against an under the gun open. Scott here not particularly active, but knit game on. Relatively short stacked. Ace poker says, let's go ahead and raise this up.
Still?
And he will make the call. Going to play out of position with king jack suited. Far and away covering his opponent. As we see 2 9s and a deuce on the flop. Ace jack is best. Checks to him. Poker with a small continue. 60 into 260. We went joining us in the chat says JD taking the night off, have not been running well. JD, yeah, JD probably not going to play too many 2-5 games if you're talking about the same JD that I think you are. I mean, I guess probably whenever 5-10 isn't running at Las Colinas or whatever, he's in the 2-5 streets. What else are you going to play? But not this evening.
You don't let me late reg your tournament?
4 clubs on the turn, not good enough for Scott to continue. An ace poker. I get to show down the ace jack high. 4 value. 4 value. Gets rid of the nit.
Yeah, not sure if JD and Z-Fish and some of the other regulars, obviously we know Danny Marks is a tournament guy. He'll be going to Vegas, but not sure if the other crew will be you know, with you out there in Vegas over these next few weeks. We shall see. But I do know that Mallory will put together a good lineup, and I will throw on her contact info real quick just for everybody. If you're wanting to play on this Tuesday night live stream in Dallas, it typically does play a little bit bigger, 5-10, 5-10-25, sometimes 25-50. These games get really big. But if you're interested in playing in Dallas on a live stream, contact Mallory. Let her know what stakes you're interested in. And when you want to play, she'll get you on.
Yeah, please. Let's go. Damn, mamas? Oh, damn. We're talking about mothers now.
Just have a tripod on both sides. Let them go to work.
Yeah. Say, hey, we're gonna have to switch tables. I'll come on
Queen,
here.
9, deuce, rainbow flop.
All right, here, hold on. Take this mic off. Just stand still real quick.
What'd you have to say, sir?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go interview him real quick.
B-boy here with the gut shot.
So tell us what's wrong with
I think it's out of
society.
sync with the table
Using
because
a bet of 60 from our villain with a whole lot of not much, but Scott with the top pair and the bottom pair springing into action here now with the check raise. Makes it 300 to go. Our villain with super dust and D-boy 1 over and a gut shot. Yes, you could always turn the nuts with a 10, but what are you gonna do? Just float this check raise and then mostly brick the turn? Yeah, let's go.
Sean White giving a shout out to Mr. Glenn in the box. That's right.
No idea.
That is Mr. Glenn, aka G Money or G Unit. One of the coolest cats in the room.
Bro, he always does that.
Got that freshly shaved dome for a while there, man. He had the coolest fro, and I thought he was just going to keep that thing growing and growing and growing, and then shows up one day just like Mr. Clean.
He
Pull it off, though.
Fro to this?
Yes, like he had just this awesome kind of picked out, kind of a shorter afro, but it was awesome, man. He was rocking it.
Nice. I mean, it's always kind of funny to think about, like how people, not only just like what their genetics do naturally, but also just what their preferences are as far as sporting you know, facial hair or hair. And to go from one extreme to the other is just very unusual, right? It's like usually if you have hair, you're like, I'm holding on to it, I'm keeping it, I'm gonna sort of, you know, sport this stuff. to have enough hair to have an afro, then shave it all off is pretty fun. I had, you know, sort of my version of the white boy / Jufro, whatever you want to call it, sort of thing going on, where I grew my hair out really quite long, and instead of just like going down and straight, it was very curly, so I got a big old poofy thing going on. And I sported that all the way through, you know, like freshman and sophomore year of undergrad, and then cut it off and donated my hair to Locks for Love, which was a pretty cool thing, right? Like, I'd been rocking the afro, I was becoming more of an adult, I thought it was time to cut my hair, and to be able to donate it to a cause like that was also pretty cool. But I don't know, outside of that, I'm not sure. Maybe it's more common than I think it is for people to pivot. But
now you got all the young kids trying to look like the alpaca animal with the kind of the fro up top with the undershave.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
There's some funny memes going around with the alpaca next to all these young teenage kids. These like kind of little curly it's like a half fro almost.
And then shaved sides, though?
Shaved sides, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Here we have a real hand. We have not had one of these sprout up in a moment. Ace Poker on only 1K behind. What? Oh, no. He lets it go. He lets it go. This is the Nick game, and the 7 deuces on, and you have Ace King?
Oh, and it's been
Oh my God, that's going to leave a mark, and it should. That should leave a big mushroom printed mark.
On your forehead.
On your forehead. No, I jest, of course. It's a 4-bet. Anytime you see a 3 and a 4-bet, it does raise some alarm bells. Some alarm bells.
And you have no clue that Corey's over there 3-betting with Jack-9, and Benham's just getting nasty with the 7 deuce. But
here's what I would say. You're in a game where maybe there's not as much action as last week, but the players that are involved in the hand are not super nits. The nit game is on, the 7 deuce game is on, and you have Ace effing King, man. Ace King, and you only got 1,000.
Rip City,
I'm
baby.
never folding. I could have beat him into the pot, you know, with Ace King there. I know we can see the cards. I know that I get to say this from my little high horse or whatever, but dude, whew, man, what a spot too.
Yeah.
Because then he stuffs it in and it folds back to Benham with 7 deuces. I think he has to call. He made it 260 or whatever. It's only 750 more. There's dead money in there. You might have to call with the 7 deuce. Imagine getting 1,000 against 7 deuce with Ace King. I mean, imagine how good is that?
What a hand.
All right, Dusty is tired of rocking the short stack here, as she does drag a pot and release her nit button, though. It is time to chip up, she says.
That's right. She wants more money on the table. She's going to get after these boys.
Get it. Mo money.
Mo money.
Man, I'm hoping to come home with mo money out of Vegas.
Absolutely.
Telling you what. Ready to make some day twos, man. I will tell you what. I've had a pretty challenging last couple of years as far as making day twos have gone overall. I'm not here trying to complain or gain sympathy or anything, because obviously things went very well for me in the main event and even in the mini main last year, but there's something about going and putting in a lot of volume in the summer at WSOP or even at some of the other venues, right? I mean, you go to the Venetian, you're going to play a 1,000 entry field or more is on some of the multi-flight events. And to just like brick, not even make day twos, even when maybe you're not even in the money on day two, right? Like sometimes that's the case. It can really take a toll on you. And You know, tournament poker is like that. It's tough. It comes with territory. As I'll come back to this story in a moment because we've got another 4-bet pot. This time it's an open. A call from Sam Queso. A 3-bet from our villain with the Snowmen. And D-Boy 4-betting Ace-King O. Now, just in time for Dusty to get all of her new chips.
Literally, she put the ones that weren't in play in her little pouch, and the ones that are in play are in the pot.
Yeah, she's all in. She's all in for just a smidge more than the 4-bet from D-Boy. And our villain here with a decision, knowing that the pot has not been reopened for D-Boy. But yeah, pocket 8s here. It's like,
I don't care, whatever you want.
how many flops are you going to see that you love? It's a dry side pot, and even if you do flop an overpair to the board, you're out of position. So now, like, do you just try to equity protect and stuff it in there, or what? But
look at this. He's got a club out here.
Yeah, free rolling doesn't get there though. But they are going to run it twice. So bunch of clubs dead. Can Dusty find some heart equity? No, she cannot.
Chop it up.
And chop it up. Boy, quite pleased there after bricking all the pairs to be like, just have ace king high. To see Dusty flip that over as well is quite nice.
We'll play, we'll play. Yeah.
Pocket 8s with the scooper there for our villain.
Good fold.
And Dusty giving him the good fold. I mean, yeah. Had he seen the 10 high flop with the pocket 8s? Yeah. He going anywhere? I don't remember if he had the 8 of clubs.
I think he did. I think he had the 2 black 8s, but I mean, you could tell he was looking at D-Boy to his left and just like, I want to call here, but you know what? I'm just gonna let these two battle it out because he knew chips were getting in. So
yeah, I mean, and it's kind of best case scenario for a call, worst case scenario for a fold there, where both of your opponents have the same hand.
Absolutely.
And that happens in tournaments more often than cash, I would say, just because you tend to have a lot more all-ins to sort of equity deny in tournaments, right? People on 25 bigs or whatever just sort of shipping it in over an open. And you'll end up seeing that a lot where maybe you're in the big blind and it's something like an open from early, middle position, whatever. Somebody stuffs it from late position. You look down and you have like pocket 5s. And you're like, well, they're going to be jamming a lot of big cards off of 20 bigs.
Yep.
The 5s are probably good. The guy that opened might be blocking that guy's outs, right? I mean, you go through this whole scenario, and yeah, it's either like you're up against pocket 9s and you're super dead, or you're up against a bunch of big cards and you need to fade them. It doesn't matter. You just kind of have to let it go. Pocket 8s, same situation there. You just, sometimes it's okay. You lose. It happens.
Switch top cards.
Yeah, we need to have a talk with him. He's out of control. I've had it with him.
All right, so $20, excuse me, $25
PLO
flip incoming. As we are, wait, we are doing a flip, or are we doing a bomb pop here?
I think we're going to do the same thing we did last time, maybe, Aaron, where we're doing a flip and then a bomb pot? Or have they decided to just do bomb skis?
A flippy bomb. Flippy bomb.
Flippy bomb.
This looks to be a bomb pot as we are getting a couple of boards ripped
No.
off here.
Wait, do you burn? Do you burn twice? Yeah. Okay, I was about to say.
Yeah, single burn. There we go.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, it is a bomb ski.
No, I saved it.
See a queen 8 up top. Got a couple of broadways on the bottom, so a couple players with nutted hands, but Ace Poker's got top 2 and diamonds. Redraw to the royal, which we can see is dead. Benham's holding that jack of diamonds. He's going to take this opportunity to pot it up. Does have a queen up top, top pair, and 2 pair for him. These are those nasty situations in Omaha where you are sharing the nuts with somebody. And you want to have a redraw on the other board. Lesson I've learned a lot, both in PLO bomb pots and in Hold'em bomb pots. You really want to have just the uber nuts that cannot be shared on one board, or the nuts with some sort of a redraw on that second board if you're going to put money in, especially against multiple opponents. Wouldn't blame her, honestly, for this amount of money for letting this go, because there's a good chance she's getting quartered. Yeah, she's got nothing on top except for a draw.
What we got?
Something that needs some help.
Nobody has hearts up top. Ace poker right now, good for half of this pot.
What was the card that we were going to switch?
But things can change quickly.
You would have done the same thing, right? I have this, I have flush.
Oh, probably not, but come on.
You wouldn't fold though, right?
I would not fold.
So then it's all in already.
Yeah.
You're not gonna call 700
I would
and then
check.
fold.
I would check
How
call.
much do I have?
We're praying for a 9 ball.
Ace poker with quite a bit of equity, as you can see in the numbers there. He has got his whole stack in.
Yeah.
Top 2 on bottom with the nut flush draw.
Would they have 8s?
He's got top pair on the top board. Queen deuce 8 board.
Quacks.
Mary's going to get these pots correct. Gotta love when the new dealer comes in and we are right into a $4,000 almost pot here. 3,400.
She's gonna hook
Yeah,
the lady up.
a little bit surprising that nobody has hearts, you know, with all the chips in. You kind of, as a player, right, you look at this and you're kind of like, oh yeah, somebody's probably got the heart flush draw. And that's something that you kind of have to worry about, but really, like, the top board, I mean, imagine being in there with the ace queen and being like, oh, I'm like super good on that board, and like very live to just like pair the board on bottom and scoop this up because nobody's blocking my pair outs or my diamonds. Like, let's go. I guess Benham is blocking, excuse me, Benham and Dusty are both blocking diamonds.
No!
Bingo.
Oh, Jack 10 gets there on both boards. Oh
yeah.
My goodness.
And instead of being in a tremendous spot to like lock up half the board and potentially even find a way into part of the other one or all of it, you're going to get scooped.
Absolute scooper.
Oh.
And those two players with the same hand needed the 9 on top or some sort of a 2 pair to beat him.
That is a savage beat for ace poker. I mean, we see bad beats happen all the time because, you know, it's poker and that's what happens. This one is particularly savage.
It really is. I mean, you look, other than that 9 hitting, for him to lose that top board, Benham would have had to hit a second pair, and Dusty had, well, she could have hit a second pair as well. She hit a 6 on the turn. So there was a couple other options, but it was so far from being, you know, the scoop chances we thought. I mean, the 9 just falling like that. Ugh.
Yeah, plenty of danglers, as you say, but because the Jack and the 10 are sort of double blocked by Dusty and Benham, it's really just like a 4 or a after the 6 on the turn, it's sort of like the 3, right? So it's sort of like the 4, the 3, of course the 2 and the 6 are still working, again,
right?
But like, there's just not a lot of ways for this to go except for the 9.
Ace poker gets 4 pair on the bottom board. No diamond, you know. So many more diamonds to hit, but we'll get you 4 pair instead. Just gross. PLO. Can be brutal, and pop pots even more so.
Yeah, that's the truth, man. That is the truth.
Ow, dude, what the fuck is wrong with my shoulder?
He's going to add on another 16-20. He's right back in the game.
That's probably the most optimal
Yeah,
outcome.
knit buttons are still out, so the knit game is still on.
Yeah, now Ace Poker on the button, right back in the saddle.
I love the fucking call.
50 to go.
Four on the river.
Then a cascade of calls all the way around the horn here as we're going to go 5 players to a flop. Jack 9, 8-2 tone. It's going to be a flop straight for Sam Queso. Top 2 for OnTilt Eric. And an up and downer for Ace Poker. 2 overs and a gutty backdoor spades for our villain. The only player that doesn't have anything here is D-Boy with a pair of deuces.
Let's go. Mary
Our
coming
Ace
in.
10 though is gone. Like Ace Poker, he's like, I just got stacked. I'm not messing around here.
Mary coming in, just spitting fire on the table. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, this is a bet and a raise with 5 players seeing the flop, right? So this board very connected, seems quite scary. The Ace 10 just got there, and obviously not loving that is Ace Poker. But Sam Queso, who just flopped the joint, still has the 10, only loses to Queen 10, which was the flop, like, bigger joint. Is still going to raise. He's like, yeah, I mean, if you got Queen 10, I'm going broke. And that's just the way it is. So he raises. OnTilt Eric there, trying to get away with just a free one and doesn't hit the 4-outer. He hits the 4, but not the 4-outer on the river. And yeah, pretty spicy spot for OnTilt Eric to make the call. You have to know that if you're getting raised on that turn, that your opponent is never just like overvaluing a weaker 2 pair. I mean, this board is just so connected, right? It's so connected. Any 10 is the super nuts.
Not a bunch of nits.
So floating the turn with the 2 pair, you kind of have to know that this is going to be your life on most rivers. The 4 of hearts being one of them. I don't know, though. He may just be convincing himself that his opponent could have, like, exactly king, queen of spades or something. Is that a thing? I don't know. Sam Queso, he just called pre-flop, right? Doesn't he probably 3-bet? Squeeze with king, queen. King 10 of spades? It's still a straight. There's no combo of spades that, like, makes sense for a pre-flop call. Oh. Raise on flop, raise on turn. I don't know. Don't know. I love the banter in the chat, by the way.
I do too.
Wouldn't be the first poker player to spend time on OnlyFans.
I like them all. You know, 4 cards, I think they're all good. You know?
OnTilt Eric here, seemingly on the verge of setting himself into more tiltedness, as a call here would be quite bad.
Yeah.
Has the 9 of hearts, is like perhaps somehow convincing himself that that's a good card to have. I'm not sure. I think the story here has been very consistent, very clear. This was a 5. This was 5 ways to the flop.
All right, boys.
OnTilt Eric is out.
Yeah, and interesting. He really let that hand get to him. Was visually clearly upset. Had some comments. Made the call and said, "See you later." So it looks like he's heading out.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's a lesson I think that can be learned for all of us, right? I mean, whatever whatever thoughts we might have about the hand, that will, you know, very obviously be tilted by the fact that we can see the cards. Is there were 5 players that saw a flop. The bet and the raise on the flop happened while there were still at least 4 of those players, if not all 5 of them, still in. I don't remember exactly the orientation there, but multi-way action strengthens the ranges that call, and it very much strengthens the ranges that raise. And it's it's a spot where you kind of have to subtract yourself from the strength of the hand that you actually have.
Actually built like that for a few balls.
Oh, yeah.
You have top 2. Top 2 is a great hand. It's amazing, right?
The other day,
But does top 2 beat any of your opponent's value?
I mean, it's probably the actual
And
best I'm gonna do.
what are they bluffing with into the field? It's a really challenging spot. I mean, and for OnTilt, they're obviously tough spot to be in with top 2 pair. Let's be honest, it's never easy to be in a spot like that and find it fold. But I think there's value to be gained from thinking about how many people were in the hand, what is the story that's being told, and unless your opponent is just super aggro, V-pipping at 80% and C-betting or raising half the time, right? This is just a very honest story. Very honest story telling you I got a 10. Zach here says ace, king, king, queen, basically the only bluffs. But ace, king, and king, queen, it's really hard to even find them in his range. It's really hard to even find them in the range because that was a single raise pot pre-flop.
I thought he had a set.
So ace, king should have 3-bet. The dude had 10-7 off. He called. He wasn't a pre-flop raiser. He wasn't the guy opening the pot pre. He just called. So you can't have ace, king. You shouldn't have ace, king. I guess I shouldn't say you can't. Mediocre Poker says, hi guys. Hey, what's up, man? Welcome.
What's going on, Mark?
It's always easy. Yeah, sorry. It's always easy for us to sort of look at these things when we could see the cards and we're just like, dude, what are you doing? 2-pair, no good. But when you're at the table and you have 2-pair, especially when like you flop it and you're like, oh baby, top 2, right? I mean, we all get a little bit wet between the legs and get excited about how strong our hand is. Top 2 pair is really good. Just got to be willing to let it go.
Well, if he got wet between the legs, it's probably a good time to go home. What's up, Marky Mark?
Waiting for you to say something.
Yeah, you're on one tonight, baby. I think you got your pre-Vegas ready. You know, you got your side gig, stand up, or maybe some dancing at La Bear, or with the Chippendale dancers.
You know, no comment. No comment. No, I don't think so. But no, just doing my best to enjoy myself here on this fine Tuesday evening with all of y'all, and I hope that you guys are enjoying yourselves as well. If you are, please help us out. Hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Come back, hang out with us each and every Tuesday, as well as nights throughout the week here on TCH Live. We do lots of cool stuff.
That's right, that's right. Subscribe to the channel, smash that like button. Got some good stuff always coming to you from TCH Live, Dallas, Houston, Austin, and now the Rio Grande Valley.
If I just want a bagel, yeah, like 12 o'clock, I'll just
Hell yeah. All right, pocket 6 is here, still out in front. Our villain, going to go ahead and take a stab here. Dusty gonna float
Shops in my town, they make like
from the big blind
chicken pizza.
with
It's like
the
barbecue
queen
chicken
8
and
high.
ranch. So good.
5 is a good card for her if she is going to float this flop. Honestly, I think she should take a little bit more time and think to herself, maybe I should actually be leading this turn.
This like unique ass like.
As our villain should not really have any 5s, I suppose. It's possible that he opens the hijack with something like 5-6 diamonds or ace-5 of diamonds and c-bets that flop. Sure, okay, whatever. But not very many combos. Shouldn't really be doing that too often. What is the queen 8 hoping to do? Just like hit a pair, I guess. I don't know. I critique because I can see the cards, but queen 8. You see a 5 or a 3 on the turn. Seems like a really good spot to go ahead and lead out.
D-Boy is going to be our loser of the knit game in this one.
I can drive into the city in 15 minutes and play in the city.
So he's going to splash the pot here for 225.
I mean, honestly, like I wanna have.
I do love the splash pot version of things, right? Whenever you just had to snap pay everyone. I mean, you felt the pain a lot more, that is true. But this way, you get to feel the pain, but still have a chance to win it back, right? You've got a decent shot of looking down at 2 cards that you can play. And in particular, can sort of set the tone for how the hand is played, depending on your action or your position in the hand. D-Boy here with the queen deuce. We're limping?
Yeah,
are we limping for 5?
Yeah, we can keep it at 5.
No, this is not allowed. Somebody change this.
No.
Yes, please, thank you. Dusty with the jack 5 off. It takes jack 5 off, and Dusty, who has more balls than these players, to raise this up and try to clear out the field.
Told you.
I get it, right? Costs you $5 to try to potentially win a pot that's going to be like 300 minimum. I get it. But come on now. Our villain here going to go for the limp back raise, and I love this play. It's surprisingly getting him into a dominated position, which I don't think the 5 should ever factor in. But if you're going to limp and then someone squeezes from the blind, like, yeah, go for the limp back raise. Dusty has fuck all here, too. So this little bet of 175 is going to put her in a world of hurt. That's pretty much her only option here is to like min click it if she's not going to fold.
She's thinking something here.
Oh, the min click would be so amazing. Please make it 400. Please make it 400. Oh my God.
525.
525. That's, that works. I think she's leaving herself a little too small of a stack behind to make this seem, exactly right, but fuck it. She's doing it. And what is our villain going to do with the 10 high here?
If he plays back at her, I am just going to get excited. This is awesome.
I don't know a world where that exists. Our villain has shown a real knack, though, for finding spots here. The ace-8 of clubs call off earlier with 4th pair. Yeah, no matter how good your read is, no matter how strong of a player you are, you just look at this and you're like, fuck, man. Are you ever folding? Like, I don't know. Like, even if you're just doing this with ace-x, with ace of spades, you're calling off. And then even if you don't have a pair, I have a 10 high. I have to improve to beat you. So it's a good fold. Not only was he behind, let's just be fair about that, but also savage mood from Dusty. Amazing play. She's V-pipping over 60%. She is just absolutely crushing these guys. At least as far as the play. Her stack, of course, not where she would like it to be insofar as what she's bought in for, but I think she's hanging around pretty good. Yeah, Zach wants the link to Dusty's YouTube. She's actually on Kick, so you'll have to find her on Kick. A little bit of Twitch as well. Corey here, flopping the club flush draw. Middle pair for Dusty, currently the best of it. If I win a bracelet in Vegas this summer, I will start a vlog. You heard it here first. Corey.
I welcome it.
Turning the flush draw into an up and downer. Dusty still best with the pair of nines and now a gut shot. I will vlog at least once a month for a year if I win a bracelet over the summer. Like real content as well, like a real video. And anyone that knows me knows I'm not a social media guy, so that will be a big shift for me. But, you know, the price you pay for winning a bracelet, I say. And one I would happily pay. In fact, I think it would be, I mean, it could be fun, right? It just seems like a lot of work. Look at these chips. All right, Dusty bets 155. Corey, after checking the Jack-10, says, I guess I just make the call here and hope to improve. Does not. Jack high, no good. Infinite outs, but when you don't play it aggressively and you brick, you're just left with your garbage, Jack high. And he's going to have to check and just totally shut it down. Dusty here. Dusty's like, oh my God, I win with a 9. If she wanted to see the hand, I think, wondering how he ever gets there with Jack high. Obviously, Jack 10 of clubs is like the slam dunk hand. It's the one combo that makes the most sense.
For sure.
So Corey there a little bit miffed that she wanted to see his hand when he announced the Jack high.
You saw that too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's understandable. I think we've all been there where you announce a hand and someone is like, I need to see it, right? Maybe afraid of the slow roll, maybe just trying to understand how the hand went down. What I would say is that at any point, whenever that happens, if you're out of position, you have to show your hand first. That's the way the rules work. So you can announce your hand, you can tell your opponent what you have without showing. If they wait, it's on you to turn over your cards or muck them. You know, and like,
that would have been a great time. That would have been a great time for him to say, "You'll see it on TV," and muck it.
And muck it. Or whatever. I mean, it's whatever. I understand the frustration as well. I certainly do. But I don't know. I've tried to just get more on board with not reading too much into people's into what they do at the table. Try to take it personally, right? Just be like, oh, you know, it's my job. It's my job to show first. That's the way it is.
It's good for their like healthy.
I either do it or I don't. But tough when the Omega draw that he had. Oh, God, we dream about having Jack 10 of clubs on that board. When it bricks out, you do feel a little bit salty. And then you have to show it down because your opponent doesn't just want to turn over the 9-5 and win. You know, you're like, come on. Like, what's going on here? I get it.
Please relax.
Dusty bringing out the hits.
That's what I'm saying.
I do love Dusty's vibe. She's just got such a
I won't give you a pile of shit.
such an air of confidence and willingness to just get in there and battle, right? I mean, the Jack 5 off check raise on a board that has nothing to do with her cards. She's like, it doesn't matter. It's really hard for you to have it, right? Like the number of hands that you could have that will feel like continuing on this board is quite slim. And I called you pre-flop. I can have all kinds of bullshit that have connected with this board. So
right.
Check raise.
And if you don't have that ace of spades, you are mucking immediately. So get out of my pot.
I mean, any big spade, right? Could logically continue, but yeah, certainly going to need like a pair or straight draw or something to go with it. And yeah, it's relatively slim pickings out there. I think it's just really cool to watch players that have like an intuitive feel for the game, whether or not they're applying like GTO strategy or really trying to approach the game from a super principled robot, like I will do this every time kind of approach. It's just really cool to see someone who's like, this doesn't feel right, like, and I'm willing to push back, right? Like the call off that we saw from our villain with Ace 8 of clubs, like that was a pure feel play. There's no GTO to that. Fourth pair is in the muck a street ago. I mean, it was gone. He's in there. It was correct.
She's definitely feeling it there. She bet on that flop there, and Corey called her with a jack, and then she let our bet again, and he just surrendered his 2 pair. So she's got the confidence going and putting on a little fear into these boys.
You guys cool with a round of 20?
Yeah, right. Getting them to fold better hands.
Okay.
You pay for half of them down.
All right, looks like we've got a request to put the live 20 on for at least a round, or if not the remainder of the night. And Sam over there was like, if you pay half of it, sure.
Like 21. Can we move anything? Check.
She is still on fire. She's got 2 pair here. Definitely not going anywhere. Scott tries to take this down with the queen high.
68 minus the 6.
Oh, right.
Bro, I was like,
Picks up a little bit of equity here. Still has the 2 overcards as well, but we go checky, and ordinary 4 on the end.
freaking Corey. You guys want to do Nick for 100 non-stop? I was like,
yeah, I think Scott had perhaps an opportunity to try to take that one down, but needed to go 3 barrels and just didn't have it in him to go for it.
Yeah, so I didn't adjust to that either. I was like,
and Dusty there, of course, happy to just show down the pair of 8s, win the pot.
After Nick got up, I was like, what the heck? That was my only option.
Now,
yeah.
indulge herself
has like 19,000.
in a massage from the licensed massage therapist on.
That's right, that's right. The lovely ladies from A Touch of Luck. They have definitely brought some luck to some of the players we've had on stream as they're getting massaged. The last time I had a massage from one of the Touch of Luck ladies in a tournament, I flopped quads, first hand.
Wow.
Yeah, got paid off as my opponent, river to flush.
It's
a beautiful thing, beautiful
thing. For the vlog, like, hey,
got him.
I'll pay you, take the money. Like, I never fucking have it, guys. Like, stop calling, please. Like, actually,
here we
please
go.
stop calling.
You know, putting in the 3-bet with the King, Queen, O.
Yeah, pretty spicy here. And back over to our villain.
I'm retiring.
With a caller in between on the button. Again, this is a late position open. So yeah, the 4-bet is coming in.
Yeah, Frankie uploaded for the first time in a month, and everyone's like, better upload schedule.
Snap fold from Bennett. Quick show of a jack from our villain.
He showed 1 jack.
Can't breathe.
Yeah, I like the dynamic there. The late position open in the cutoff from an aggressive, you know, sort of seemingly studied player, 3-betting the king queen. The 4-bet obviously makes a ton of sense. I mean, he could 4-bet down to 10s, even 9s is borderline. So, yeah.
Another card went over there.
Just good play. I like to see it. You know, I'm happy to see the players splashing around. I'm happy to see, you know, let's go into this sort of weird knit game stuff where, you know, we're leveling each other, and I just don't think you have it, so I'm going to pop you with a raise on a board that just doesn't seem to make sense. I love to see it. Love to see it.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it too. A little more, I don't know, studied play, some good bluffs tonight. Players don't just have to have it. And it hasn't been just, you know, crazy all-in action either. It's just been finding good spots to check raise opponents. 3-bet, 4-bet. Yeah, I've been really enjoying this one so far. See if we get a butt in that 6th seat after OnTilt Eric has left us. Hopefully we get somebody in the rest of the stream here, as we are almost to the 2-hour mark of our 5-hour stream.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, a little bit too much tilt there for Eric to take his leave of us.
It depends.
After calling off the top 2 pair against flop straight. And yeah, I would presume that this is, I mean, certainly after the night before, if anybody heard any rumblings in the room about what was happening on the live stream on the Monday night before this game was filmed last Tuesday, would be just salivating to try to get in here. Obviously, it's a slightly different lineup, but still, I mean, if it played anything like it, you know, you'd kind of want to get in there.
Yeah,
top and bottom here for Benham. Dusty with the gut shot, overcard, backdoor, flush draw. A couple of things going on. And 7 of hearts, more red cards. That's about it. Checky. Benham with the best of it. Dusty gonna go for the bet check bet? Did she donk lead? No, I think she check called. She floated the flop. That's what it was.
Yeah, she floated. Little backdoor diamond, a straight draw, but Benham says nope. Don't believe you.
It's a spot where if she's gonna, she bet 165. I think if she's gonna bet, she has to go like 3x pot. She either has all of it or she has none of it. So I don't think betting pot or anything less is gonna get the job done. That board, the nuts changed every street, right? Like flop, it was clear. Turn, oh, okay. Got a little different flavor here. River, flush, board pair, everything. It's like, no, you get it bombs away.
Sam Queso, our big winner so far tonight. He's up 3K. Everybody else up either in the hundreds or down in the hundreds. He's getting another nice premium here with the ace-queen.
Yeah, and it's more late position action as well. D-Boy here limping the 20. And he's going to limp call the 225 3-bet, inviting Dusty to come along on the button with her king-jack suited. And yeah, I mean, you're given a price like this, you get to close the action and play the whole hand from the button. It's a no-brainer for me. I mean, obviously, Sam Queso could be up to no good, and you punk him out of the way. D-Boy might start to feel the pressure by the 4-bet sort of territory, but yeah, I think the call makes a ton of sense. Here we go, Sam Queso out of position for the remainder of the hand. He's got ace, queen high. Sees 9 high, and he just shuts down. D-Boy, double flat donk. Excuse me, probe rip, because Sam Queso was the pre-flop aggressor. So I don't know if he has 3K in front of him. That may or may not be true based on the graphics. That's what we're going with. That is a massive shove.
No probe. That was a full-on fist. And he does have
3K.
2,900. He says, "I've got the pair. You guys missed. Get out of my pot." What cojones there from the 5 seat.
Let's go, D boy.
Sassy jumping in, saying hi, friends, and Mark saying, "Man, I almost started heading over." Then he remembered that this was actually filmed last week.
Yeah, Mark, you can only run as hot as you did last week one time. That's
one time, Mark. Yeah. I mean, you'd be the big winner again tonight, as you'd be the only player on that stage. There is nobody up there right now.
Oh my God, ship 3K with 6s out there. I mean, God. Imagine you have 9-10 suited and you're just like, I have top pair 10 kicker. This guy's all in for 3K into a pot of like less than 700. To be fair, it does make almost everything fold. But good God, what a play. Love to see it.
Ugly flop. A little bit spicy turn here as Benham now is open-ended. Our villain still has the equity, though, with the king high. Pair of 7s, though, for Benham. He's going to lock this up.
Super nizzles. And he's going to bet for value. Charging a 6, maybe a 5, something like a6, a5. Even something like 4-6, 4-5. Very slim pickings there for what you get called by, but I do like the approach. Benham in position, sort of fully recognizing kind of where he's at in the hand. Says if you have a queen, you're never checking. And if you have a queen and you did check me with something like queen 8 or something that's just like queen no kicker, like, okay, I lost another $100. Like, big deal. Not getting check raised a lot, given that he has an 8. I like it. Dusty with the deuces. Calls the open from Benham. And Corey's out of the way, so heads up to a flop we go. Ducks against the A7 suited, and Ducks still ahead. Quick roll, and Dusty wins the pot.
Yeah, she. She's about the biggest shit yet. She's like 23 pounds. Good nut job.
So yeah, OnTilt Eric has been out of that seat for, I'd say, what, probably 30, 40 minutes by this point. Definitely a spot available. I am a little bit surprised, especially at the 2-5 stake, that we don't have just like a player from the field. Right? You'd think there'd be somebody out there playing 1-2, 2-5, whatever's running. Just be like, wait, there's a live stream spot available? I'm in.
I just had to come lose money on stream instead.
Three players gonna look at a flop here.
Cruises are nice. They're real nice. Yeah. I'd be so sick.
King high rainbow flop. Scott with the best of it.
Oh, yeah.
No kicker. Gut shot. Benham and E-Boy, both players. Excuse me. The 9-10 is out of the way. Just the ace-jack sticking around. carrying 8. Not the best card for Scott. He'll be happy to check it back as he's improved to the queen kicker, but now is like just like miles ahead or way behind.
We can see he is way behind now.
Yeah, 10 of clubs, not supposed to be a bad card for him, but is really, really bad. And D-Boy picks a good size here, goes nearly pot, 375. He's going to get quickly called, and that is just a miracle river. Obviously, an ace also working going into the river, but D-Boy going to be pretty pleased that it was the 10. And he gets max value there, chipping up over 4,000. Let's go D-Boy.
We'll get the link up here momentarily, but quick reminder, tomorrow here in Dallas starts the end of the month tournament that we always do, the even bigger one. $300 buy-in, $250,000 guaranteed prize pool. Starts tomorrow, the day ones. 10% of the field are going to make day 2 and the money. We know we're going to crush that sucker even with everything that's kicking off in Vegas. Come on out and fire some bullets at the even bigger one starting tomorrow here at TCH Live.
Taking a peek here at the Timberwolves and Mavericks game as we are nearing the end of the first quarter. Mavericks down 9 at the moment. Up 3-0. It's the Timberwolves. As they find a way to just squeak back into the lead and close this one out. They are kind of 4-0. Their way into the finals. Pretty juicy spot to be in. You always love being up 3-0 in a best of 7, obviously, but man, how great would it be if they just closed it out 4-0, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. I saw the stat. It had never been done in an NBA conference final series. A 3-0 team coming back, so no jinxies there. It's going to take a lot for them to come back, but they definitely aren't just going to lay down and let the Mavs have it. So,
yeah, the reverse sweep is always a low probability event, but once the momentum swings, right, you get the first win, it kind of feels like, okay, like we didn't die. Obviously, we still have to win 3 in a row. It's not great. But then you win the next one, and now you're at 3-2.
Yeah.
You've won 2 in a row. Things have turned around. Again, I'm not trying to put like juju out there for the Wolves, but I have seen mostly in esports, right? Like I watch some esports where the reverse sweep. You play a lot of best of 7 sorts of series, and it's all about the momentum. And once that momentum shifts, you know, the guy doesn't die, and then they win the next one. Now it's like, uh-oh, this could really happen. And you can see the guy that's up 3-0 or the team that's up 3-0 just sort of fall apart and give it all back.
oh yeah, you know you got them sweating.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
When that momentum switches a little bit, and it's, you know, you see that a little bit. Final table poker gets down to obviously heads up, sometimes even 3-handed, you know. Somebody with a commanding chip lead loses a couple of big ones, and it's just like, oh no. Do they let it wreck them and just let it eat them up, or do they, you know, regain composure and pull it out? So a lot of parallels in sports and poker.
Ooh, Scott coming with the fire here. He's going to bomb it for pot. 400 on the end here with the queen high. And ace poker lays down the overpair. Gonna get punished once again for the sort of big fold. Does lose to a 3 or a 7. Or a flop flush, or 2 pair. I mean, okay, there's a lot that beats you. I get it. 10s are not great, but whew, another nasty spot there.
All right, as promised, got that link up. Here it is, guys. The even bigger one, 250K guaranteed tournament. starting tomorrow, May 29th through June 3rd. Day 2 is going to be on Sunday, and then the day 3 stream final table would be on Monday night starting at 7 p.m. So 10% make the money, 10% go to day 2. So sticking with that structure, really like it. We got two flights every day, all the way through Saturday, day 2 Sunday starting at 2 p.m. So come on out. Your shot to win upwards of 50, could be even 70,000 like it's been in the past. So come on out. I'm going to fire tomorrow.
Hell yeah. Good luck, man. It's so freaking cool that every month there's a 250K guarantee at TCH Dallas. Every freaking month. And then that's just the even bigger one. You got the bigger one, or whatever you guys call it. Not the ever one or the ever one. It's the big one. It's just every Saturday. Incredible.
10K guarantee.
I don't know what he's talking about. That thing is trash compared to what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
10K guarantee. Get out of here.
Yeah, I'm saying, what would first place be for 92 buy-ins? I love this game.
Yeah.
Flop top 2 for Sam Queso. Good enough. Continue betting on the turn. Takes it down.
Yeah.
Number 59 under our belts as we cross the 8:07 p.m. Central Time. Hour 99 of you hanging out with us here on TCH Live. I'm Aaron McAvoy. Eric Van Loosen over there in Dallas. Still alive, still kicking after the big thunderstorm that came through last night. Happy to have you here with you all.
And if you guys and gals enjoy our stream, obviously we want you to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. But in that YouTube chat, you can often find the links to click on to if you want to play on the live stream. We do live stream at 4 of our locations: Dallas, Rio Grande Valley, Austin, and Houston. So if you're interested in maybe splashing around, we had a really cool thing last week where a player came in town from India, a seat, and had a blast and ran up a stack in seat 5 last week. He's been a fan of the stream, and he decided he was going to do a little Texas poker tour and got on our stream. So if you're a fan of the stream and want to play, click on one of those links, go to the website. If not, and I will put up Mallory's information specifically for TCH Dallas's live stream again throughout the night.
Dude, it's so freaking cool to see viewers, fans, just people that enjoy the game that have been exposed to TCH Live sign up for and then travel to Dallas to come and play on the live stream, or any of our other live stream locations. Of course, we have, the live stream out of Austin has featured a number of players from, outside of the state, outside of the country even. So just such a cool experience. As we're going to now have top 2 on the turn for our villain, Dusty, on effective 4th pair, 5th pair now on the turn.
59 pop.
Floating the flop, but now facing a wager of 305. Here now on the turn, she is going to surrender the 4s, and our villain, no further value, is going to drag a decent pot.
Yeah.
It's so funny seeing these guys celebrate. They're watching last week's games. So I'm like, wait, what are the Mavericks doing right now? But this is actually last week that these guys are clapping for. Yeah, like I said, it was really cool. After the stream was over, I got to shake hands with a seat and meet him. Actually got to meet Ace Poker and OnTilt Eric before he took off, which I had met Eric before, played with him a few times. But yeah, Asit was just so happy to be here and familiar with some of the other names of players. Like I said, last week he got to play with German Moneymaker while they were in Cambodia. So just cool seeing people from across the globe, literally getting to run into each other and play poker and watch this stream every week. So cool stuff, man.
Yeah. So I said earlier that if I win a bracelet in Vegas this summer, I'm going to start a vlog. I will also commit to doing at least half of the vlogs internationally. I'm going to go somewhere else. I'll go, you know, I'll play in Canada, I'll play in Cambodia, I'll play in Germany. Hell yeah. Let's make it happen.
Well,
just
this is
out there because I'm channeling the bracelet here. You know?
Yeah, you're channeling the bracelet, but this is also being recorded, so you can't renege on any of this. So you sip away.
I would not. I would relish it. I relish it.
You sip away on that whiskey, young man, and you stick to your promises.
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about.
We're having a good time.
Turned top 2 for Benham here. Dusty on the front door flush draw. Facing the check. SPR at 3 thereabouts.
One person already has gone.
Takes a little while to sort of size up the situation and then does put out a half pot wager here. Not sure if there's a timing tell or if she's perhaps given off a little bit of anything. I mean, Benham obviously just like super top of range, so he's going to go for the check jam. And I'm not sure that her body language or anything would have, you know, sort of dictated anything other than this. But Benham here on substantially more than the 1757 that we see on screen. He's got 1757 in green chips, and then he's got nearly 1,000 in black, plus the reds behind. So this is a big jam.
Yeah, that's easily 1,000 there in black. Yeah, he's.
Oh, pardon me. I apologize. It's just showing the jam for her stack. I don't know why I got all bent about what it was showing for him. Of course, he still has the 1.2 behind. Yeah, no, this is a covering jam. He's putting her all in for the 14 that she has.
He says, you look comfortable getting massaged, but how comfortable are you really? I'm going to jam in your face here.
Yeah, and this is the danger of not just taking a free river card, right? Because now she's faced with the prospect of folding away her equity or calling it off, knowing that she is a dog and needs to improve. As, I mean, maybe every once in a while she's up against like Queen 9 or Queen 8 of clubs and is just like ahead with King High, but very slim pickings for hands that she is ahead of on the call off here. 1450 is the price. If she puts it in there, pot's going to go up to 4,200. So do some math real quick. She's getting about 30%. Needs about 30% equity. Doesn't need that much, right? She's kind of getting that, right? We're seeing her at 25%, knowing that 4 of her outs are missing. Not clear if she is sort of giving herself kings as an out or not, but if she does, she's actually kind of getting the right price, but borderline. This is a gambler spot. Do you take the gambler spot, or do you say, you know, and no one behind, and I fold, and that is the route that Dusty goes. And of course, she'll get to see it, because we're playing the Nick game, and Benham shows the goods.
What is the bounty on this?
Just like that, we got what we asked for. Not only do we have a player in the 6th seat now, got the return of Mr. OnTilt Nick. Let's go.
He really struggled on the log, man.
Oh, OnTilt Eric tilts out. OnTilt Nick taps in. Let's go. Comes in with a Nick button, as you do.
It was like 5K to win like.
And this is a much better situation. Mark Wee came in last week and was like, oh, we're playing the Nick game? Cool, give me a button. And there was only like 3 players left in the game, so he just like stepped in with half the field missing.
And wakes up
the
game.
That's true. He ran unreasonably well, and perhaps that was karma for being like, whatever, I'll play the nit game, it doesn't matter. But that was a very classy move and well played. This is a slightly different version for OnTilt Nick as he steps into the game after I think it's just one of the buttons being removed. Maybe two. Yeah, pardon me, it's two because our villain got rid of the first one. All right, all wheel flop and a bunch of cards being scanned vigorously. There we go. A couple of gut shots and top pairs. I also feel like, you know what, I'm already going out on this this sort of rant about me winning a bracelet. You and I have to do something together if I win a bracelet. Something like skydiving. Have you been skydiving?
I have, but it's been 15 plus years, so I will jump my ass out of a plane again if you would like to get a little crazy, get some adrenaline going.
Okay. All right. That's on the menu for the Vlogosphere. Ace 9, Ace 5, both getting shown down for the threes full. And chopping the pot.
I had a spot last night that just never works for me because anytime I have the nuts, it's just always everybody folds. But I limped in hoping to re-raise with ace king, and didn't work out that way. But I did flop king jack king, checked around, turned king, river jack, full house on the board. Just being goofy, I threw 25 out there and got one guy that just was like, you know, oh, I don't believe you, I'm going to call. You know, there's 25 in the pot. You know, he calls the 20, and then somebody makes it like 170. You know, I have 200 in my stack, and he literally folds for the other 30.
Yeah, you can't go all in for whatever amount it is and not have the king, right?
And I showed the ace and said, is that good?
You clown. Well played. I like it.
Total clown move. Well, I was like, well, you know, aces wins too, right? If I limped in with aces, kings full of aces beats kings full of jacks. They're like, oh, no way, man.
This is correct.
And then they were trying to convince that guy that I bluffed him, you know.
He bluffed him for 25 bucks or 30
yeah,
bucks.
for another 30, you know, my last 30 or whatever.
Oh, yeah, you bluffed him real good.
Real good, Clark.
Oh, man.
Because they were like, there's no way he limps in with aces or ace king, you know. Middle position.
Well, you shouldn't.
No, of course not.
Mr. Eric over here, limp back raising, except not back raising because nobody did what you was supposed to do and raise.
True story. Yeah, I came in at like 1:30 in the morning, and tables, you know, were full of, you know, players who were on their last couple of chips or had monster stacks because all the tables are starting to break down at that hour, you know. And
okay, yeah.
So I was at a table with some pretty big stacks, and then just a couple of people that were just trying to double up their little mini stacks. It was just kind of a weird dynamic, and
so it kind of lended itself towards
it was
ace
like
king limp and
two hands after I put in a big 4-bet with ace king and got called super light by a guy with like I think pocket threes or something, and he just jammed on the flop because it was 4, 5, 6, and so I was a little ace king snake bit, and I'm like, yeah, let me just try to play it a little different in this hand and see if I can't just get my chips in, you know, pre and maybe have one opponent, but nope. But then you flop the world, and you know, you're no longer regretting limping in with that hand, you know.
The results-based orientation.
That's right, baby. Play bad, run good. Play bad, run good.
D-Boy here trying to play good, run good. Got the birds in the big blind, raises to 150, a big chunky squeeze size. I love it. After we've got limpers, punish the limpers with the big size, and unfortunately won't punish them to the point of getting more money out of them post flop. Does show down the birds, gets rid of the nit button. 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 I mean, he won the hand, he showed it, so he does get rid of it, but like at some point he actually has to throw it to the dealer, or he might just forget that he won the hand and no one else is going to tell him. I mean, if he just holds on to that thing, I think there becomes like a statute of limitations or some shit where... Wait, I think he just noticed. Oh, no, it's not too late. No, 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 he won the hand, he showed it.
Yeah, they're not... I don't think they're doing that
have to actually play another hand
extra rule. Where you
Wait a minute, are they?
You said the hand's already been dealt out. It's too late.
No, for the nit button.
No, for the nit.
No. He's saying it's too late. You gotta
No. He's got to be able to get rid of it.
If he showed aces.
He didn't throw his button in.
He didn't throw his
That's
button.
right. Yeah, in fact, sometimes you're supposed to pay.
Oh, no. Now we're getting into
if he
the
wasn't
weeds.
clear on it, that sucks, you know.
That happened to me last game.
No, now we're getting into the weeds. It looks like D-Boy is going to be forced to keep his nit button, though.
That sucks. Well, it was aces anyway. That doesn't count, right?
I've heard that.
I've heard that too.
Ain't that hard.
Mark is in the chat, Aaron, real quick, talking about funny player gift. Oh man, we got some characters that show up with ladies late at night. I wish I could have taken a picture, but you know I'd get fired. So I would have loved to have sent it to you.
Oh, Scott here has to lay down the 7 Dewey on tilt. Nick winning the pot on an ace high board.
Gets rid of that button quickly. Gets rid of it.
He looked at me and I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah, so here's my take on the Nick game, and I think this is pretty standard on the Tuesday night stream that we normally cast here, Eric, where as long as you won the hand and showed it down, like you satisfied all of the requirements, whether you remembered to like flick the button towards the dealer or not in that moment or before the next hand was dealt, like you did your part. You did your part, and there's no like fucking yourself out of the Nick game, you know?
Yep.
Now, it's a completely different thing if you win the hand and muck your cards, right? That's a no-no.
Like a royal 3-pair, top pair.
Yeah, I want to say I've only seen them where they've done it this way once, you know, where if you don't throw it in. But I don't know. That sucks because this is D-Boy's new on our stream. I don't think he's played on it before, so that kind of sucks for him. But I'm pulling for him. We normally don't root for players, but I'm going to root for him to get rid of his net button because he's already lost it once tonight, so that would just suck.
It's unfortunate. I mean, I think he's up a healthy sum, so that pads the blow a little bit. But it is pretty gross when you're like, I did everything right, and
Eric keeps
I
calling
still
him down
have
2-pair on a 4-line.
play this game.
And I wanted to say, hey, it's only $25 net button game, but this is a 2-5 game, so it, you know, it's a little bit more valuable in this game.
I mean, it is only 25, Eric, but it's 25 per person going into a splash pot, so it's kind of a lot.
5 big blinds per person.
You gotta know.
The good thing for D-Boy is that he is not like down to just like heads up and has somehow missed his opportunity to just kind of duck out of the game at the opportune moment. Half of the players are still involved, so you know, win one more hand and he's good. It does suck though, you know, as we've already mentioned, he had to pay it out once already, so gonna feel the sting if he is forced to pay it out again after winning a hand with aces and then just not like according to the rules we're playing by tonight having flicked his button in at the right time. Flicked his button. in at the right time. Corey here, 3-betting to 250. Benham with the birds coming in for the cold 4 out of the small blind. He makes it 625 to go, and I dare say that Corey is well on his way to a stacking, as 2 queens here gonna be the super nuts most of the time. It shows Corey on the button as OnTilt Nick takes a quick peek.
I'm trying to see that.
I know.
How to start calling with opening?
And I think the button is actually on OnTilt Nick. I don't know. We've got introductions happening. We've got all-ins, and Corey here. Excuse me, not all-ins yet. I apologize, Corey, with the decision. He's got, I would say, 1,200 behind. It shows him having 1K, but really just doesn't matter. Queens just always all in here. I think he's kind of trying to sell this one for the ace-jacks of the world. Maybe the king-queen. Should be 20 king-queen suiteds of the world, but I don't know. Just trying to sell this one a little bit with the long tank here before he stuffs it in. I mean, it is a 4-bet. Let's be honest. I mean, he could be behind. He is behind. But good Lord, help me. If you ever fold when you start at the hand with like 1,500 and you pocket queens. Small blind versus big blind, button versus small blind. I don't even care where the button is at this point. I'm never folding queens. Bring out your dead. Huck me in the back of the wagon. I'm done.
There's 21K in front of him.
If I am behind. And Corey does settle on the ship.
Did he buy in for
and there's the snap, and Corey punches himself in the fist. As he has indeed run into it. And Corey, I feel for you, man. This is a dirty spot. You got set up. You got set up.
Yes.
I think we're running it twice. So far, so good. Corey, though, picking up a spade draw. Can he hit it? Hits a queen.
Oh, my God.
It's a queen. A bunch of spades are dead, but there's life. Now Benham, the one looking to hold on. Needs to fade the last queen in the deck, and he does. Chop it up. Corey here goes from getting stacked to missing out on a double up had he run it one time. But yeah, just a cooler. I mean, these spots happen. But you could see how much it impacted Corey there. He just couldn't believe it, right? He's like, perhaps been running bad recently, perhaps has run into these sorts of spots a lot recently. And whenever that happens, you're like, cool, I got dealt aces. Time for me to lose my whole stack. Because that's what's happened the last 3 times. You know? Understandable.
It should be a fee.
Very understandable.
I would say, but I don't think nobody at the top.
I'm saying you're not supposed to remind somebody else or throw somebody else's in.
Hey, take hit.
That's what I'm saying.
No, you shouldn't remind somebody to like show his hand. That's part. That's about it. Not about throw.
But what's the difference if you just take his button and throw it in? What's the difference?
No, if he doesn't show his hand, he's not even eligible to.
I'm saying, what's the difference between reminding somebody to show their hand or taking their button and throwing it in for them? There's no difference.
There is a difference.
No, there's not.
Think about it.
There's no difference. You're both instances. You're reminding him to get rid of his button.
No. If he shows his
Alright,
hand,
never mind, bro. I'm not arguing with somebody who's fucking retarded, bro. Like, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same
Wow.
thing. It's the same exact thing. It's the same exact thing.
I'm finna get rich.
It's the same exact thing.
maybe you're not incapable of understanding that it's not the same thing.
You want this? Bro, it was going down behind earlier too. Bro, behind they were going.
I mean,
was the elderly, right? Yeah, they were going in. Bro.
I get it. I get exactly what he's saying. if I throw my neighbor's button into the middle after they win a hand, but they didn't throw the button in, of course that's reminding them. You're not even reminding them. You're taking over their action and taking it out of their hands. I mean, I'm not saying that it should be forced back into their possession. Because then, like, somebody wins a hand and your neighbor just, like, snap grabs your button and throws it in. It's like, ha ha, you have to keep it. Like, that wouldn't be fair. But, like, you can't say that that's not reminding them. I mean, I get that Benham's saying it's not the same thing because he's talking about two different scenarios. He's talking about one where reminding someone to show their hand versus reminding them to pitch their button in. Benham has a point. Benham has a point. He's not retarded. Well, he might be. I don't know. That's not for me to say. I'm kidding, of course. Whatever. I'm just joking around at this point. But at the end of the day, I understand the point that Ace Poker is trying to make because he's saying, if I touch your button and throw it in, I've sort of reminded you by proxy. And Venom is saying there are two different scenarios at play of showing the hand and getting rid of the button. And that's why there shouldn't even be this distinction. Like, the fact that these guys can even have a disagreement here is exactly why the rules shouldn't be enforced the way they have been here tonight for D-Boy. You show your hand and win, you got rid of the button. Doesn't matter whether you pitched it to the dealer or not. You got rid of it. You're done. You satisfied the conditions of the game. My 2 cents. All right, we're going to continue along as we've got limping for 20. Limping and limping. And now we got a raise. Dusty here, red 3s. Going to punish the limpers with a raise to 100. Venom going to float the button with the 10-8 off. And it's a pair of 3s and an open-ender for Dusty still out front.
All right, what did I miss, Aaron? I got stuck out there telling my tornado stories as people were laughing at me about my sissy video I posted last night. They're like,
I love it.
They're like, you're alive. They want me to get sponsored by Whataburger, though, so we'll see if I can make that happen, you know?
The one thing that kept me alive, the burger and fries.
That's
only
right.
$10.99. No, what you missed is Ace Poker calling Venom retarded because they had a disagreement about about reminding your neighbor to pitch their knit button. Yeah, we had real controversy, real drama here on TCH Live without you, my friend.
Damn it.
Basically, what it all comes down to is that because we enforced the not pitching your button to the dealer after you win a hand on D-Boy, it created this like distinction between reminding someone to show their cards versus reminding someone to get rid of their button, and having those be two distinct things. And there was a disagreement between the two players, Ace Poker and Venom, about how that should be enforced, but they were talking about two different things, and it was funny because the word retarded came up, and it was funny because like the people got kind of there was like everyone at the table was like, whoa, you know, like we're getting like into it, and it just shouldn't have been there.
Oh my God! They said the R word. Okay, you're supposed to say.
Well, no, not really that.
Intellectually deficient is now the proper term.
Oh God, yeah. No, I don't know. I think the whole situation could have been mitigated by the usual fact of us just not enforcing pitching in the button as one of the actions that must happen. Scott here releasing the jacks to D-Boy's 4-bet.
What the hell?
I don't know what's going on up in here. I'll tell you what. But those players were deep. 4-bet from D-Boy, who has played most of his hands as limps and calls. Does make some sense. Does make some sense. Let's look at some RFIs here. D-Boy down near the bottom, 19%. RFI 19% is not tight. So I mean, I wouldn't say it's loose, but it's not super tight. But if we looked at the VPIPs, I would say he's actually, if he's RFIing at 19, VPIP must be quite high. I thought he was limping a lot or flatting a lot. So maybe I'm off base here. I don't know. But at the end of the day, folding jacks pre doesn't happen every day.
Yeah. We go to his house and play a home game.
Yeah, it was good game.
Me and
Whenever I fold jacks pre, it's usually because I opened and got cold, like 3-bet and cold 4-bet from the blinds, and they have stack sizes and bet sizes that where I'm like, oh, like you just always have it. You know, like maybe if it was someone that I was like, I'd played with and had a read on that they were capable, that like maybe they were doing some really small cold 4-betting with like ace-5 suited, ace-4 suited on occasion, where I would maybe sort of get credit for some of that stuff, but most people, that's just a recipe for disaster. It's sort of best case scenario going back to what we saw earlier, right, where you just have like the middling pocket pair, jack's kind of at the top of that range, and your opponents both have ace-king, and it's like brilliant for you, but like, how do you know that that's what you're up against?
Well, since these two knuckleheads were getting into it, I hope somehow they both get it all in with pocket sixes, because neither one of them is going to hit a set here. They may have choice words for how each plays the pocket sixes.
Yeah. Neither Sam Queso nor Dusty going to connect with the board, so they are not long for the world. Oh, it's only one pair of sixes remaining. Venom is in there. 10 of hearts on the turn. Does not improve Sam Queso, nor does it give him additional outs. Almost looks like it should, but no 9, no jack can't improve the hand. But Venom is out of there, and Sam Queso will show down King Queen, not Queen 8. Shows down King Queen. So we did have a misread over in the 2 seat. That happens on occasion.
Danny Chin jumping in. We would have liked to have seen you on this stream, Mr. Danny. Danny's definitely one that's had some epic runs on our stream in the past. It's been a hot minute, but he's back in the room splashing around a lot more often now, and I love seeing it.
Courtesy double up one time.
I think we're playing 7 this game, by the way.
What is it, 25?
25.
100.
100.
Venom.
Venom? I know we've already met.
Yeah.
Even Venom has the new merch. I can't get the new merch, man. Brother, you retired for a week. Like, God, brother.
Yeah, you're gonna be consistent.
Yeah, we need to see who knows, brother. You gotta stay consistent. Trust the process, brother.
Yeah, Nick.
Trust the process, brother.
Gosh, I need to put Nick on the show. No, that's not even possible. Brother, it's not possible with these little states, brother. It's like I'm trying to win lunch for this week. Holy shit.
I do think it's hilarious that Nick has the stream up over there and is just like permanently watching 15 minutes in the past to try to keep up with. Oh no, he can't be watching.
He can't be watching it. Yeah.
Oh, he's watching.
He's watching the night
previous
before.
Nights.
Yep.
Because it was being streamed on the same time. Oh my God, that's what he's doing. He's watching last night's stream. That's amazing.
I guarantee he's gonna get.
Well, remember, it was funny too because once he was off, he got on and was actually joining us a little bit in the chat as well after he left early. So that was fun last week.
I told you, bro. God, one time hold. Where's he at? Here's Queens. Do that 7-6 a pair in the gutty for 30,000.
One time?
I think so. Look at Rick. He's sick. He's sick.
Yeah.
One time?
Now they may be watching something on TV every now and then. We've got some WPT and stuff that's up. It's funny because Dusty was on that ladies stream with Kathy Liebert and some other ladies on a WPT tournament, and they replay that quite a bit, and it's been on in our room before when she's in the room, and everybody's like, Dusty, you're on TV. He stands up and kind of does a little dance. Hey, that's me.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. She eats it up a little bit.
That's bad. I'd be up 6K.
Right here, guys.
What did you have? A pair with the gun? Yeah. On 10,
10-9-7.
yeah, 10-9-7-3. For 30K. What do you got, 7-8? 7-6?
I'm going to have to ask Nick what his tattoo says. Creeping out of his sleeve there. I do believe that is the first time I've ever seen the words female dog tattooed on somebody's arm.
I'm locking in, boys and girls. Just put me on monkey. 15,000? What is that?
B-I-T-C-H. Interesting. OnTilt Nick, what's up with that tattoo, brother? All right, battle of the flushes.
I think he sold 40%.
Jack versus the 8. D-Boy taking down another pot.
He plays it here. 25, 50. They have a quarter. I think they have 10 quarter. But, what's the Houston stream? Champions? Champions. Yeah, he's played that before, right? Hey.
Reminder is we're getting into the summer and a lot of folks will be away in Vegas and on vacations. Mallory's always looking for players that want to join this Tuesday night stream. Normally it runs a little bit bigger, a 5-10 game. If you're interested in any game, the 2-5, 5-10, PLO, let her know. This is how you contact Miss Mallory. She puts together these great lineups. So if you're wanting to join us, this is how you contact her. Got a little 7 deuce being raised by Mr. Scott. Queso's going to call with the king queen. Our villain jumping in there with the pocket trays. And Corey coming along with queen 10. Venom says, why the hell not?
Yeah, and this is sort of like the most disastrous thing where you have the 7 deuce. You're like, all right, we're going to get him. You raise and just like the whole table calls. You're like, how the hell am I going to win now? Like, I can't beat all these
everybody.
People. 7 deuce?
Yeah. How am I going to bluff the whole table?
Yeah, now but this is exactly the spot where you take a 7 deuce type of sort of scenario where you could just like burn infinite money and you just find an easy out, right? Like he's already folded, it's just done. Like, yeah.
Oh, set of 3s, yeah. Wow.
And 2 players with top pair and Venom with effective second pair with a heart. Like he's got reason to continue. Maybe not now after the raise to 475.
Yeah, it took me a second to see those 3s. I was really hoping for a Corey versus Dusty kind of rematch here. But yeah, our villain just flopping the world here with a set of 3s.
Yeah, this is another awkward spot though. Dusty does not have a heart. This was 5 ways though to a flop. Let's remember. Again, it's the same thing that we talked about before. Ranges get very much stronger. And our villain went for this raise with, I think, 2 players left behind. Venom was behind, and I want to say there was one other player left behind.
Corey had the queen 10, yeah.
Corey had the queen. Yeah, Corey folds the queen 10 here, right? Like, yes, maybe he's a little bit gun shy after getting stacked with the queens versus the aces. Well, he didn't get stacked. He chopped, but maybe a little bit gun shy. Also, just hell of a fold, recognizing that like these ranges are so strong that queen 10 here, like you're probably gonna have to play for all of it if you continue, and you could just be super dust like you would have been, like Dusty is, and now she's thinking about playing for all of it, as she's got 1.2K behind.
He was telling me that he was like running good.
And she's going
she's gonna go for it, and snap call from our villain, and you could probably run it 10 times, and it's unlikely that she would win a single one of them. 2 times, Dusty needs running cards, and she's dead. One more time. Dusty needs running cards, and she's dead. Sorry, 2 pair, no good.
2 pair, no good.
Our villain here taking a little bit of time to roll over the 3s. Dusty did go all in, so it's on her to show the hand. Once again, sort of similar scenario to what we were talking about before, where he's like, well, you went all in, you kind of have to show your cards first. Even though she asked him, do you have a set? Like, the answer is yes, but, like, you're going to see it. I just want to see your cards. So, you know, let's do it by the book. It's totally fine. Dusty is going to go down to the felt. She'll need a reload, but she's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and Corey thanking his lucky stars that he didn't choose to go with the top pair.
And he left only down like 68.
Queen kicker. Could have been a double whammy there for our villain. Nice hand there. Always good to flop middle or bottom set. Somebody's got that over pair or top pair. And Dusty put him on. You know, the obvious draw there, the hearts. Hoping she could get maybe a 10 or a hand like pocket 8s, pocket 7s to fold there as she rips it all in. And unfortunately, she just ran right into it.
Brandon goes runner, top 2 with ace king. And Tommy had flopped the set. But like Queen Jack got there, it was like 10 6 4. Tommy had 6s, then it goes ace king, and Brandon check raises all in. Tommy tanks forever. And Tommy's like, Queen Jack. And then I look at Tommy's hand, and I guess my expression made him call. I was like, and then Tommy called, and then like throws over ace king like it's probably smacks it. And then Tommy just
all heart board here. Benham with the only heart, king high.
He's like, I'm done.
Dusty's got the open ender. 8-6.
Yeah, that was the all-time name. Like,
Scott's gonna make the call with just a pair of 5s. Third pair here. And the ace of clubs. Could be an action killer, but
he lost his mind. Kind of like
Dusty's just gonna give up, and Scott is gonna win this $122 pot with the 5-4 offsuit. Brody jumping in the chat, throwing a little heart eyes at Corey. I think that's the second romantic comment going Corey's way. I'm sure he loves all the love.
Gotta love the love.
Yeah. He doesn't care where it comes from. Guys, gals, everything in between. Show him some love.
He also loses to a turn 17.
Help the young man grow.
I get it. How much did he jam for? Check raise all in. But like, how much was the all?
It was like 1820. The pot was about 6K after he falls the river. You do a night?
All right, red 5s for Benham. Dusty making the call from the big blind from Jack 6 suited, and Sam Queso in from the big straddle. 3 players to a flop, and there's a 5 and a 9 for Sam Queso. Benham here going to go ahead and lead with the set. Sam Queso makes the call, does not want to see a 9-10 or a jack. The turn will be a 10. Good Lord, this man is getting set up, and these are 2 of the deepest stacks at the table as well. Of course, the board is connected to the point where there are some sort of straight combinations that could be scary, but you can't go sweating the king jack or the jack 8 all the time. Sam Queso does just make the call, doesn't bloat the pot any further, and the river doesn't change anything really. 7-8, I suppose, could have continued bluffing, picking up the up and downer. But yeah, Sam Queso here would just like call, like show me the goods, and okay, you actually have the goods.
I never thought you would.
Wow, nasty spot for Sam Queso. Brilliant spot for Benham, and he's going to chip up nearly 5,000.
Because she's not going to leave with a set with two pair. She's going to get cute with it. Gotta check her EG.
Those are the sorts of scenarios that like need to play out when you flop bottom sets, because you're not going to be up against a flopped top 2 or top or something often enough to just get you paid across multiple streets like that. Oftentimes maybe you'll get like a middle pair or a top pair small kicker to pay off one bet, but as soon as you start sizing up, they just kind of shrivel and head for the hills. So really fantastic spot there for Benham to get the max value. D-Boy here with a couple of 5s. He's going to limp until Nick going to click it up a bit. Makes it 100 with the king-queen. And over and around to Sam Queso, fresh off of a shellacking. Go ahead and 3-bet it with the 2 black jacks on tilt. Nick makes the call, 1.6K the effective stack, so SPR at 3. And Queso out of position with the betting lead, flops an overpair, and the best hand still. Checks it over, and on tilt Nick gonna step right into the trap. That's 150. Sam Queso makes the call. 10, not a scary card other than the odd 7-9 suited. And this trap is working perfectly as on tilt Nick snaps out a bet of 500 into 850 immediately after Sam Queso checks. And this is basically on tilt Nick being like, I'm going to get you to fold a better hand. That is ace high, not a pair. Check jam from Sam Queso, and on tilt Nick is like, oh.
Oh, hail. Oh, hail.
You are trapping me. Now I only have 1,000 left, and God, do I call off 1,000 to win 4? No, I don't. You just.
Hello,
you
Jack's
just
good, buddy. Somebody got please, man. Oh no.
Nice play from Sam Queso. Seems like he knew his customer there. Says, I check here, and it looks like I have ace king or ace queen or something. Ace jack, whatever. And he's just going to hammer it every time. Sure enough.
All my friends. Yeah, you know that real freaking famous guy hustler? Yeah. I beat him on stream.
Another losing session.
Our hero, our villain, comes back just in time to look down at a couple of trays under the gun. He's going to straddle.
Going to try to flop another set with him.
Dusty here, massaged into a call from the button. Oh, excuse me, a raise with the 9-6. We'll get a call from our villain, and we've got a rematch here. Dusty versus our villain. 2 deep stacks, and it comes ace 4-4. Clean board for the trays. However, range advantage to Dusty. She's going to bet 100 though. 2/3 pot on ace 4-4 doesn't seem like the size you normally choose with a big ace, as you're kind of like so far ahead or very far behind. And what a dirty river card here for our villain. The 6 going to be good for Dusty.
Eric's half tilted.
And when she shows this down, he's going to be sort of heartbroken that like 3s were good.
Eric's half tilted because Uman
like
and Izzy were
so
supposed to
good
play, and they fell
until they
with
weren't.
that and that. Good game.
Bro's on tilt. Aces on
Ace is like, Ace, I'm not even gonna joke around with you.
No, you know the funniest thing is we actually had to pay to sit here too. That's awesome.
I'm going back to New York. No comps today.
no.
It's like, whether we walked into the lodge, they treat us like a king. Comps.
No, you have to pay to get in this game. It's a good one.
They ain't treating the king of New York right in Texas. Goddamn. This motherfucker is pissed.
I love that they're getting
I'm enjoying
rise
this.
out of it.
Oh my God. Yeah, brother, I was disappointed when I showed it to you. Brother, there's one spot on the table and it's Corey. This one's Super Pro?
No, action.
You a super pro? Nah, action.
That's right. Got a 2-5 game. Super pro.
If I'm gonna be pissed, I'm at least gonna try to have fun.
There you go. Panda, he's pissed off.
Yeah.
There is the key word. Try to have fun. If you ain't having fun, shouldn't be there. That's the great thing about cash games.
All I know is Sam's buying us dinner. He's up way too much.
It's nacho night.
It's nacho night?
I'm not high maintenance.
If it's nacho night, you can get on out and go get some nachos.
I want nacho night. Maybe it is nacho night for me. I don't usually get nachos from Taco Bell, but good. Actually, that just doesn't seem like the right item to get. Maybe someone in the chat can correct me, but are nachos from Taco Bell good? I don't know.
Godspeed.
Have you ever got nachos from Taco Bell?
I have not. I'm more of a taco guy than a nacho guy.
I'll pay you.
Yeah, I'm a burrito guy. Like, I mean, I go there and I get a burrito for, $5. Don't judge me. And,
you know what the crazy thing is? He's going to try to help me out. You're going to fucking smack whatever you need.
I feel like it would just be covered in nacho cheese and, like, maybe some
You don't feel like you
jalapenos.
have
It'd
to
be
go,
like
bro. It's
what
okay.
you get from the
I'll be alright.
ballpark.
Thanks. I'll survive.
We've got an all-in from Sam Queso here with the ace-9 of spades. We've got ace poker all-in with the red queen.
It's not working
Excuse me,
when I
not,
touch it.
Sam Queso's not all-in, but ace poker is all-in.
Thanks.
And Sam Queso is folding. Okay, I apologize. Thought the positions were a little bit out of order there. And ace poker
off tilt maybe, just a couple. Sometimes you got a couple ladies that can, get you in a good mood. Couple queens. Ship that money in.
It is tough. I mean, he's been running bad, right? Like we saw earlier, there was that bomb pot where he was like a pretty good favorite to get at least half the pot, if not.
That was
the whole
disgusting.
thing, and then he got scooped. That wasn't great.
We had him in the creasy later on.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mark says he hasn't had Taco Bell since college and prefers gas station tacos.
Specifically, yes. I think specifically the one gas station he's talking about is Fuel City, which does have a restaurant attached, and they have kick-ass tacos. So,
yeah, that's cheating, though.
Yeah.
That's cheating because like your normal gas station, like dirty taco / whatever, is like the things on the rollers. You walk in and you just see the thing that's just been rolling all day. You're like, I don't think anyone should consume that.
Bro, the lineup is sick.
At all.
You know that rich Indian guy who's everywhere?
How do you guys feel about velvet taco? I like the velvet taco.
I
Very different.
haven't been there in a really long time.
Is Dwan playing it again?
I always spend way too much money when I go and order food from there, but last couple times it's been pretty damn good.
Nice.
And I made another game, like someone he owes.
A little bit of a spicy flop here. Up and downer for OnTilt Nick and Corey with the overpair and the spade flush draw. So OnTilt Nick in a pretty bad spot. Obviously, if he does make the straight that also completes the flush, he's going to kind of know right away that his hand is super vulnerable but
he's a splashy
kind of
player.
immediately
Doing it for like 20, 30
removes 2 of his outs.
So Santosh, Nick Airport.
Well, all in a call.
Wow, OnTilt Nick gonna call it off with the 8 high. Needs to improve.
He was gonna, but then he backed out.
And that's not good enough.
No good.
All the monies belong to Corey, as OnTilt Nick will go back to the Walrus and reload.
Nice pot there for Corey. Winning about 1,000 plus in profit.
Unless they updated
the $1 million games.
Yeah, things looking good for Corey. Sam Queso leading the way, along with Venom, both players up 2,600. Decoy up a clean 1,700 as well. Dusty down 2,500. Ace Poker stuck about the same as OnTilt Nick, down about 1,500, 1,700 thereabouts. And OnTilt, what, Eric has also left us stuck as well.
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
Definitely OnTilt Nick's MO though. Get it in early, try to run up a stack, or do the opposite. It's not going in his favor so far, but providing us with the action we so crave on these Tuesday night games. So we're glad to have him back in that seat. Three hours in, 127 of y'all across all platforms watching. Thank y'all again for joining us. I'm Eric Van Loosen in Dallas, and I'm joined by the great Aaron Money McAvoy in Austin, Texas. Yeet, yeet. That was a strange looking item you just held up in the air. At least from my vantage point. I'm not sure what that's for, but Lord have mercy.
It's just a microphone.
Hope that didn't get stuck, brother.
It would never.
May have to cancel that Vegas flight after all.
In the brown hat?
Nope. What happens on the way to Vegas stays in Vegas. Scott here going to win with the jiggities, as the jacks have been showing up here quite regular this evening.
Scott's happy he didn't have to fold them again. And that's going to do it for Miss Mary. Thank you, Mary. One of my faves, man. If you're ever in town and she's baked some goods, Mary does cookies and cupcakes, and man, they're the bomb.
Nice. Dusty here, 67% VPIP. Venom, 45%. Then we go 35% on and down.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Dusty playing some hands tonight.
Yeah, D-Boy actually in third on the VPIP there, playing a lot of hands. You know, sort of, we saw it earlier, 19% RFI, kind of wondering, you know, just how high his VPIP would be, given that we'd seen him sort of flatting and limping a lot. Yeah, 35%, third place. He's been playing some hands this evening.
Well, and this is a new dealer, one of my favorites. Also happens to be one of our floor managers here. This is Eugene Playo.
You'll see that atmosphere.
Also known as Mean Gene.
Let's go.
Yeah. Gene's had some really good tournament success in the last couple of years, and we do so much talking, Aaron, on this stream about 3Coin and all his cool merch. Eugene has his own merch brand that he's kind of put together with his sons called Stuck for Life. Stuck, the number 4 life, and it's just about poker. And if you're a poker enthusiast, check out stuckforlifemerch.com and grab some swag. You can see that stuff pretty regularly in the rooms as well. Cool hoodies and hats and all that.
I did not know that that was Eugene's.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got here? OnTilt Nick runs it out, backdoor style. Let's go.
Bink, bink. Yeah, you had the 10-9 of clubs in there, flopping the world. Lots of hope to just get dusted.
Womp, womp.
So now it's a flip. I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna get on the YouTubes and I'll put that little link in there, the Stuck for Life link. But yeah, Eugene has been playing poker and been in the poker world for a long time. As wife also works here at TCH, and two of his sons, actually 3 of his sons. He's got a stepson that works for us as well.
Got the whole dang family.
They were fighting with each other. They were fighting.
He just dropped off one of his sons at the Air Force Academy up in Colorado Springs. So he was a poker dealer for a while, and now he's doing big things for Uncle Sam.
All right, here we go.
Sharp kid.
Board number 1.
Cool. All right, so we did our flip, and now we're doing a bomb pot.
Yeah.
Get some cards scanned in, see what we working with here. As so far, I don't see anything too brilliant. The Queen Jack of Diamonds obviously going to mean, oh, actually Corey with a pretty strong looking hand. We can see that he's up against the nut flush draw for Scott on bottom, but does have the open ender to go along with the bad flush draw. All of the 3s in one player's hand there, flopping bottom set, but blocking quads. That hand, I think, already folded, but here we go. It looks like Corey is going to stuff it here. He's got the double flush draw and the up and downer on both boards, so super combo draw on both boards. All in for 2,100. And on to Dusty with the top 2 on bottom board and a bad gut shot on top. Like, if her 9 comes in, how often is she good, right? And other than that, it's just like 1 overcard. No diamonds. Backdoor spades are working, so she does have that in her favor, but it's literally just like cling to life for thousands of dollars with top 2 on one board. Seems like a bad plan to me, and she seems to agree if she does let it go.
Just hope that they scoop me, I'll give you my seat.
Scott now, though, he's got the up and downer on top, nut flush draw on bottom, pair of 9s working on both boards. Does he want to gamble is the question. And what an incredible hand it is for Sam Queso. I had to wait for it to sort of cycle back through, given that there were so many hands still involved here. Here we are, Sam Queso with the same Queen Jack on top, but with better hearts working on bottom. So sort of in a situation to potentially
yeah, look at all the hearts out there. It's gonna be a miracle to get some hearts, but
on tilt Nick, though, he's in there. So that Queen Jack hand sort of getting out of the way there is really going to clear out a lot of the equity. These guys going to chop this pot a ton of the time.
Flush draw's good. Eight's good.
Oh my God! Don't scoop an 8.
Eight's good on one, 6 good on the other.
Lock that one up.
Corey locks that one up.
Diamond, backdoor diamonds.
Wait, oh, we shouldn't be burning. No, we burned too many cards. We burned too many cards.
It was looking so good, brother.
We need to
Oh
shit.
Deuce on this board.
Okay.
Hello.
I don't know what happened.
we had 4 burns.
Jack 4. Oh, Jack 4.
This happened a week ago, so we can't do anything about it, but that is not how that was supposed to play out.
Was that 4 burns?
It was 4 burns.
Oh shit.
Well, it happened a week ago. There's nothing we can do about it, and nobody caught it in the moment. So,
and we're on a 15-minute delay.
We're on a week.
Technically, we're on a week. Delay. Yeah, we're on a week delay. So, let me holler at somebody and say we're gonna have to re-reward that pot to so and so.
Well, no, you can't even do that because of course we don't know what the cards actually would have been.
Yeah, if you
what we do know is that as of what was shown on the boards, Corey is the winner, and he's going to chip up nicely. Going to move further into the green zone, Profit City here. as Nick is like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want your dirty pink chips. Corey tries to give him 2 pink chips. Like, bro, give me something to play with, man. What are you doing giving me 2 pink chips?
Give me something to stack or play with.
I love that interaction. Nick's like, fuck you. You stack me and then give me 2 pinks? Oh my god. An appropriate response.
Who needs one? Alright, everybody got one?
You should have flicked it back and been like, give me a fucking 1K. Like, what are you doing? I need a
my
blue
money
chip.
back, donkey. I know I was watching a stream the other day. I don't know what stream it was, but it may have been one of ours where a couple of players had a little side bet going that the first person to touch and shuffle their chips had to pay the other one. So it was just like 2 hands later, one of the guys caught himself like mid-stack of chips and tried to stop. And the other person was like, oh, I got you, you know. It was like, I don't know, it was like $100 or something, 50 or $100. It's like, that'd be fun to do. Yeah.
Oh man, I would have to like OCD stuff my hands into my back pockets, like sit on my hands to not shuffle my chips.
Yeah, black's fine. Thank you.
That's the thing, like what if you're in a hand, like does it count if you're in a hand making a decision?
I would presume so.
Yeah. Like
it's
you can't stack or shuffle them?
First one to eat a, fast food meal, like owes the other one. It's like, well, but I was, it was Sunday afternoon, and like clearly that changes things. I don't think being in a hand would alter the wager, personally. Top pair, top kicker versus gut shot to Broadway. No backdoor flush draw for Dusty.
All in, she said. Dusty needs him to hit 2 pair.
Sure. Yeah, Corey here in a real good spot to scoop a couple of big pots back to back. Needs to just fade one of his own outs.
Oh, and he doesn't. Oh my god.
That's you?
He's like, that's you? How is that you?
Yeah, you can't win that one.
Yeah, he is somehow going to chop this pot in a rather absurd way. Dusty here getting to keep for 1,300.
Yeah, and she gets to get rid of her knit button on that top board. So gross for Corey there.
Oh my god. Well, okay, let's be fair. He has 5,400 in front of him. Got wrecked last stream. And has been very fortunate to get some chips that one may or may not say probably shouldn't have been in the middle against him. So
for sure,
he's hanging around. He's having a good time.
Too good.
Yeah, Dusty actually asked to run it twice, so he is happy. And number 87. Nick game going. OnTilt Nick counting cash. Gonna add some more on. Maybe this game has just come alive.
Seems that way. Dusty says I had a good read on you. In jest, of course, ripping into the top pair, top kicker.
I'm not fucking knew better than to throw Corey's nip button in there this time out. I'll tell you that much.
20, Scott?
All right, Scott here is under the gun. Everyone's sort of ribbing him about not putting the 20 on. He's like, well, I already looked. I can't. Like, what do you want me to do here? Does the appropriate thing. Just folds his hands. I mean, it's fair to put the 20 on there and be like, sorry, guys, I would have, and so I still will. But once you've looked at your cards, it really does taint the hand. Everyone will look at you sideways if you win. And I think that's the appropriate response. Just fold, say, hey, I missed my opportunity, I'm sorry. I'll do it next time. 10-3-3 is the flop. Top pair for Sam Queso. Bottom trips for D-Boy. Seemingly in here with the queen tray off from the cutoff. And bombing the flop, 175 into 250. Says multi-way my ass. Let's charge these people to see a turn. Sam Queso will be charged. Making the call. These two players very deep. Turn is E5 of spades. Changes nothing. Sam Queso dead to a jack. Excuse me, dead to a 10 on the river.
Go borrow that real quick. Do a little good search with it. I got some. Thank you.
Sam Queso, though, says, let's see if I can hit that 10. Check calls 375. I don't know what happened with the graphics there. It was a check and bet of 375 and a call. It's another check here on the river. Front door flush draw bricks out. Nothing gets there other than... No! What? D-Boy does not bet the river? Shrugs, throws his hands up a little bit. Maybe trying to say maybe I lose to river ace is full. I don't know what he was scared of or why you wouldn't value bet. I mean, maybe he doesn't get called very often, but God help you if you ever have your opponent on ace jack and they river top 2 and somehow you don't get value from them. Trip 3, 7.
Sorry.
Still wins a nice one, though. Nice big juicy pot there. Nick game in effect, of course. Dusty in there for a call.
Raise. 65. Call 65.
King 10 tray, rainbow flop. Ace high is best, but Dusty here. 9-5 of hearts, gonna check. Sam Queso makes the wager. A couple of backdoor straight opportunities and the overcard to the board. Shows it down, release the knit button. On to the next.
Surprised we have not had more rounds of straddles on tonight, but we do have knit game and 7 deuce going. There we go. There's a straddle.
Yeah, I think the 10 and the 20 were pretty well agreed upon earlier. Scott kind of fudged it a little bit there by missing it until after he looked at his cards. But most of the, I think
they just may have missed it a few times and got off track.
It comes and it goes a little bit, but yeah. The 2, 5, 10, 20 is a substantial sort of uptick from 2, 5. And yet very standard by Texas standards.
Nick just added on 3K, so let's go here. Wants to battle with his neighbor Corey and some of the other bigger stacks on the table.
King 4 diamonds for Benham. Gets rid of his knit button. Just like that. Easy peasy.
What the fuck happened to you? He scooped. He's selling at the cash. Yeah, they sell them brother for cash.
Corey missed Nick adding on all the chips. He's like, what the fuck happened to you?
We know we have to crack your aces, brother.
He said we're going to crack your aces.
Implying that he only plays aces. And it's kind of funny because he was in a spot where he was all in with queens against aces, and Corey almost didn't want to put the money in with queens. small blind versus big blind. So seemingly has a tight range by everyone's standards.
Pacers up 4.
Wow, my
What the heck just happened? I thought we were just down 3.
7-0 run, brother.
Literally just said we were down 3.
Good offense.
Oh yeah, they're watching like
Pacers, Boston, something.
yeah, they're watching a game from a week ago. Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. I better tune back in and see how the Mavericks are doing.
Yeah, I
they
just
closed
did
the
as
gap
well.
from where we were when I mentioned it back in the first quarter, down 4 only near the end of the third quarter. A very manageable spot. Obviously, at any time, any NBA team can go on a hot streak and run up the score. So you know, down 4, down 6, down 10, even very manageable with over a quarter left to go. OnTilt Nick here, 4-betting the 7s from the low jack. This is something you don't see all the time. But with the knit game on,
I was just enjoying that stare down. They were facing each other. It was almost romantic.
give him the kissy face, see what happens.
Yeah.
Woo-wee. Shows the 7s and drags the pot on tilt. Pardon me, excuse me. Mid-sentence, little hiccup there. On tilt, Nick gonna take that one down. Get rid of the nip button.
You're gonna bleed. You're gonna bleed all night. Keep playing GTO, brother. Don't start doing that shit.
I was just the 10.
I was trying to donate 1,500. You didn't say 220.
Yeah. I was just the 10.
So he's 2, 5. Oh, no, the
That's exactly what it
here.
is.
There we go.
No, it's my button.
I was just the 10.
I was just a 20.
Dusty here trying to finagle her way into a double button.
Double button.
The rest of the players are like, we onto you.
Don't be trying that hard. It's not that serious.
We believe in equality here, Dusty. Jeez.
Equality of big blind. Yeah,
Well, that was a good one for us. You got more. Never.
Ace Jack of clubs here for Benham in the hijack. Equal starting hand, gonna raise it up, makes it 16 to go. Fold 3 to the first straddle. Our villain King Trey is hyper garbage, and oh no.
What, sure?
Okay, all right. No action induced there by D-Boy folding out of turn. That would have been pretty awful if like the King 3 had somehow like found a way to call, knowing that like the big straddle's just gonna fold and then wins the pot or loses a big one, right? It would just be really awkward. So good fold.
For sure.
Just shy.
One more time, put up this promo. Not sure if we're going to do it again next month, but this Thursday, the 30th of May, come on in, ladies, for Ladies' Night. You buy 2 hours, you get 2 hours free. Thursday nights from 5 p.m. to midnight. They'll have complimentary wine, of course, always complimentary beer on tap here as well. But yeah, ladies, your chance to buy 4 hours and get 4 hours for free. Pretty cool special. Unless you're a dude. Unless you're a dude and we just got to pay normal.
Hey, you know what? We'll have dudes night one of these days.
Yeah, one of
Give it
these
about
days.
20 years, we'll have dudes night. I keep telling you good. Come on down at between 3 and 3:30 a.m. We'll have dudes night.
Yeah.
All right, Queen 7 trade 2-tone as we are heads up, I believe. Yes. And what a flop it is. Bottom 2 pair for our villain. Still with
Give
the
us a
nit
4.
button. On tilt Nick with the bottom pair, who is not shy about continuing. Picks up a gutty on the turn as well. Our villain here with 2 flush draws and a straight possibility out there. Gonna keep it relatively sized down there. I don't know. I think from our villain, I would have expected a big bet, maybe even an over bet, but he goes for kind of And more yesterday, 2/3 on tilt Nick. Bets 35 in position. That is, I don't know what that does. What, does that get called by ace high like once every other year? Maybe. Certainly doesn't get a better hand to fold. Cannot imagine even a 7 looking at a bet of 35 and being like, oh, I guess now's the time to head for the exit.
I don't know about that face. No, it's the paint, right? It's crazy. Hey,
They tap the table. Yeah.
435. 435 might have got it done, but not 35.
Yeah, sure. Gift. It was, you know what? You look like you could use a couple trips to Taco Bell, my friend. Have $35 on me.
No, there's still a bonus for right. No, it's you cut 10 and it's big. You're good.
Uh-oh, here we are on the who's the 10, who's the 20.
Hey, brother, I just realized you called 3-4 to 4 got exposed. Nice, good player. You're a good player. You're a very good player. He was trying to get us. Brother, I'm going broke.
Is that like bless your heart? You're a very good
so.
player. You're a very good player.
I mean, in poker, a lot of times when you say nice hand, that's not really what you mean. You know, just nice hand, sir. Nice hand.
Well played. The well played. Yeah.
How much do you have?
Venom, Queen, Jack of Diamonds, facing limps. Says, yeah, get the hell out of here. Punish these limpers. Makes it 95. I think that is on the low end. Just going to get a call from a dominated queen. So, good choice. Corey does head for the exit there. It's going to be Venom versus Scott. Scott has position with the inferior holding.
Oh, wow.
My God, Corey folded ace deuce. You can't believe it. He's looking at the ceiling like, fuck! Are you kidding me? Oh, yeah, I put the finger in the ear. Yeah, no, you get the whole thing. Head to the side, shrug, finger in the ear. Pretend to watch the
looking down at his
game.
knit button, going, you son of a bitch.
We'll record as long
Oh, no. Poker be like that. Even when you zig when you should zig, the universe is like, yeah, you should have zagged, bro. Should have zagged.
And Dusty's just getting worked on over there.
She is, yeah. And she's not shy about emoting either. Yeah, a couple of those, you know, sort of digs into the shoulder muscle. She's like, yeah, nope, that feels really good. Feels really good. Keep doing that. By that I mean now. On tilt Nick with ace king 3-bet. Gonna get this one through as everyone else was working with the speculative holding. Not worthy of the out of position call. We look at profit and loss here. Woo. Our villain up the smallest amount on a 4K stack is about 143.
What a bad shot. There's 14
Scott down
seconds.
$100. Everyone else up or down way more than
What a
that.
horrible
As Corey leads the way 4,200 in the positive.
14
And while
seconds
he
on
may be thinking about the ace deuce sort of fold, flopping the joint, he's up $4,000
He's up 4K.
after getting waxed the last night, like literally last night for these guys. You can let a few of those go. The Link 1270 makes a guy wonder if VPIP with every hand is a solid strategy. It definitely does. It really does. You know, I think everyone should speculate and, you know, do a deep dive on that one. And if the survey says that you should VPIP every hand, because it's a solid strategy, then I encourage it wholeheartedly. Also, where are you playing? And I'll be there tomorrow.
Should be a fun one here with
Pacers are up 3. They have
Jack's still in the lead. D-Boy, though, with top pair, top kicker. He's got to feel good about this flop. On tilt Nick looking for that last Jack. Or a queen.
All right, 3 players.
Still 3 ways. King might slow the action down a little bit. Our villain's going to take another poke at it, though. 250.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see a lot of kings being involved by the turn, right? It's sort of like
Hearts or
king,
nothing.
jack, king, queen are kind of handcuffed in that they don't have an immediate gut shot straight draw with the overcard, so kind of need at least a backdoor, if not a front door flush draw to go with it. Jack of Hearts, obviously a very relevant card. Our villain here now looking at another overcard. Perhaps now going to go ahead and slow things down or go for another block. Does go for the 1/3, a little under 1/3 sizing. I'm not sure if you ever get called by a 10. Queen 10 that doesn't block hearts. I guess maybe once in a blue moon calls. I mean, you could probably never go wrong there with the small bet, as you're just kind of trying to dictate the pace of the hand. You'd hate to check and then just get bombed on, and then now you have to decide if jacks are worthy of a hero call. But yeah, the link 1270 is going to run the math and see me at the 5 cent, 10 cent tomorrow. Perfect. Love it. And I'll be there. It is actually funny, though, to think back to a time in my life where I literally played 5 cent, 10 cent at the university where I went to undergrad. We would sit around, people would bring either like a jar of coins or a sack of coins. We would be sitting there with actual coins.
What you got, man?
And then
you're probably killing
I feel like we were playing 5 cent, 10 cent. Maybe we were playing more, but I mean, you know, when someone bet $1, it was a lot back in undergrad.
Yeah, you had me crushed.
And then we did graduate from that pretty quick to playing tournaments.
Ace is all in here with ace-6 on tilt Nick. Got him dominated.
Yeah, ace poker here really should be 6 poker because he needs a 6 and doesn't find one quite yet.
How about a 4-ball?
Not gonna do it. All right, running it twice. Ace poker still in the hole. Needs a 6 or some sort of chop slash whatever. Chop opportunities here for a 3rd. Not good enough. Ace jack holds. Ace poker down to the felt.
Nowadays, motherfucker.
Pitches in. The knit button says that's gonna do it. I'm donezo. And yeah, enough of the run bad here. Had some nasty cooler-ish spots earlier on. Maybe just never quite got his mojo back. And he's going to go ahead and take off the mic and head out.
So that 5 cent, 10 cent game you were playing in when everybody was bringing their bag of coins, is that where you got your nickname, 3 Coin?
Yeah, technically.
I didn't get that nickname. Thank you very much. But no, no. Actually, my nickname at the time was Hippie because I had the big afro that I then 1 year later shaved off for Walks for Love. But
I do picture you being a guy with an afro, maybe wearing some tie-dye, or did you have a Grateful Dead shirt, maybe, or?
No, neither of those. I
Okay.
was just
It's not.
I mean,
big
I'm
hair
not
dude.
paying.
Yeah.
He's paying.
Star
He
Wars
pays-
shirt?
Either he pays.
No,
now
I was
or
more of like a
we
Jinko
restart it.
jeans, like big baggy pants.
No, you
kind of
weren't.
Oh, absolutely. I was a skater. I was a
Hell.
skater,
That's not true.
hippie guy. So
The Jinkos,
He
wow.
also is an hip-hop
yeah,
too.
Jinkos and hacky sack, longboarding, skateboarding. That was my jam.
Right on, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know why we still have these.
It is nice. I don't know what you're talking about.
Either he pays or this. That's how it is.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
It's always just been the person leaves and you keep playing. I've never seen it.
They're trying. What? Corey's trying to get out of the game because
Trying to make Ace Poker pay the NIT penalty.
Yeah, he was to pay.
hell no.
Not pay.
He got stacked, dude. You get stacked, you're always free to leave.
Yeah, you can't just
It's not like he like racked up his chips and was like, later guys, I've got a dog to water. Like, come on, man. He got stacked. You can't force him to pay the NIT game. Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh.
Hi. Hey, Eric, how are you doing? I
That's
see
not
you
the
and
face.
you see me.
That's not the face that we wanted to see here. You see, what happened was.
Somebody clicked a button.
Uh-oh. Well, while we try to get this little thing figured out, I'm just going to put up a couple of things to get it off my ugly face.
No. Here,
Unless you
I'll
want your
zoom
beautiful
I'll
mug.
zoom in. It'll be. We'll hang out together.
Can you get your nose up even closer to the screen? We're going to throw a couple
what are
things
you
up
saying
real
about
quick.
My nose, dude.
Well, you had it almost kissing the screen there, but
Well, that's what the people want.
we're going to remind you real quick about the even bigger one while I try to shout at our folks about getting our stream back up and running, as we still have, another hour plus to go. So we're going to try to get that going, but even bigger one starts tomorrow. I'm going to let you guys read this while I try to multitask, do a little texting.
Yeah, so, yeah, bigger one. 250K guarantee. Starts tomorrow. $300 gets you in. Starting flights 10 a.m., 5 p.m. 30K starting stack, 30-minute levels. All playing into day 2, 10% of players going to go ahead and advance to day 2. 40-minute levels on day 2 and day 3. And, yeah, the final table going to be streamed here on TCH Live on Monday. So pretty exciting stuff. Gotta love that. And let's just go ahead and look here at the chat. The Link 1270 Jinkos will be back in style by 2030. Maybe it will come full circle by then, but it is very curious because styles definitely come and go, right? And it's kind of tough to think of a style that we haven't seen before that will be in style in the future. Like, we've already done tie-dye. We've already done Jinko jeans. We've done guys wearing skinny jeans. We've done short shorts back in the 70s. Like, I mean, just all of it is there. So what's like the new thing? Is it going to be like shag pants? Is it? I mean, like, I don't even know what you could come up with at this point.
Yeah, I don't see the Jinko pants coming back because those are laughed at beyond. All like the really super baggy ones. But it's funny because, you know, when I was a kid, we wore jean shorts, and then out of nowhere, like around 96, 97, like, you're a tool if you wear jean shorts, and it went to khaki shorts, you know, and then all of a sudden jean shorts have kind of made a little comeback, or even cutoff shorts. So who knows? But we're hoping if anything comes back, it's poker, as we're trying to get this this stream back up and running. We had some good action that was coming on. Hope you guys were enjoying it while we were rocking. We still have 131 of you guys hanging in there. We're going to give it a few minutes. Feel free to chime in on the chat if you want to ask Aaron McAvoy or myself anything about Texas Card House. All of our locations that we have in Texas, talk tournaments, talk Vegas, talk the World Series of Poker that's coming up. If you guys are going out there, let us know what events you're playing in. Aaron's going out there. He's going to try to run it up and become a multi-millionaire.
And vlogger.
And vlogger. Yeah, vlogger. going to be famous.
Yeah, I need to win a bracelet though. I mean, I will say that the temptation will be there if I make a top 3 finish in any of the tournaments that I play out there. Just because it will be pretty extraordinary to finish that high in a massive field tournament at the WSOP. But definitely 100% guarantee it. If I win a bracelet, I will start a vlog and I will do half of the episodes in other countries.
Well, I have no plans to go to Vegas this year, but if I win this even bigger one, I'm going out to Vegas, baby. So I'm going to play tomorrow in probably the morning flight for the even bigger one at 10 a.m. Try to spin that $300 up into about 60K, you know, before Uncle Sam gets his filthy paws on it. But I'm gonna meet you out there in Vegas, and we're gonna go to what's the name of the restaurant? Ping Pang Pong.
Ping Pang Pong.
Ping Pang Pong is what we're gonna do if I get to come out there. And I've told this story before. I want to hear about some of our friends and local poker players making deep runs in some of these events. I had a good buddy of mine. He's an older gentleman. His name is James Duke. You may have seen him on some streams down in Houston. He was part of my oil field poker league, a bunch of mostly guys that were in and out of the oil field, but he had turned in his 2 weeks notice at his job. He was in, I think, the mergers and acquisitions side of the oil and gas business, had a pretty decent career, and decided, you know what, he's going to take a shot in Vegas, took a little time off, went out to Vegas and played in an event and finished, I believe, third. I'm looking it up right now for $614,000, and called the boss and said, you know what? I don't think I need that extra 2 weeks after all. I'm going to go ahead and just retire. So those are the kind of stories I like hearing about. People getting to take a shot out there. We had one of our coworkers here at TCH, I guess a couple years ago, won over 300K in an event. Got to see him a little bit on TV, and we were all rooting him and cheering him on from here.
Yeah,
so the kind of stories that we love hearing about. Everybody taking their shot, at the big WSOP ring. So, Aaron, I hope you're one of those that gets to make it. Yeah, James Duke. It was in 2014, the $1,500 no limit hold'em millionaire maker. Got
the
third
Millie Maker, yeah.
Here's third place for $614,000, and he's just been a tournament grinder, going all over the place. He's got his Hendon Mob up to $882,000 now. But yeah, I love hearing those stories. So if you guys are going out there and playing in Vegas, let us know which events you're going to play in so we can root you on. And I totally forgot one more thing, Aaron. This Thursday, the 30th. Speaking of local players that we love to root on, our very own Danny Marks is going to be playing the final table. I believe it's going to be final six. Yeah. I think they've already got 75K or so locked up, 77, something like that. And they're going to be playing for over 300,000 up top. So if y'all want to check that out, root on Danny Marks. Is that a WPT event?
Yes, WPT main event from Choctaw. I think it's the better part of 400K up top even. And yeah, just a tremendous spot for Mr. Danny Marks. Obviously, rooting him on there as, yeah, we can, I mean, we've got a minute here as we are still trying to get things sorted out here. We may or may not have to shut things down. We'll see if we can get it back up and running. But, yeah, as of right now, let me just pull that up here, as the buy-in was $3,800 for that one. Generated a prize pool of $2.1 million. And let's go ahead and see if I can pull up the payouts here.
Yeah, and they're playing that at that arena, right? In kind of on the outskirts near Mandalay Bay, I believe.
Yeah, it's over in Excalibur, or yeah, I think it's in the Excalibur or the Pyramid one.
The Pyramid one, yeah. What the hell?
Yep.
What the hell is that one called? Brain fart.
Can't
think.
The
of
Luxor.
that.
Excuse
me.
The
Luxor.
Luxor.
Yeah.
Yeah. at the Luxor, the Esports Arena, whatever. $361,600 for first place, and indeed, top 6 are guaranteed $75,000. So it goes 75K, 99, 131, 175, 235, and then the winner taking home 361.6. And hopefully that is Mr. Danny Marks, who is, of course, our hometown hero. So good luck to Danny, and good luck to, as you said, everyone else who's out in Vegas firing away.
And Eric Lindgren, I think, is going to be on that as well.
Yeah, Eric Lindgren's there. There's a couple other big names as well.
The other Eric from WPT. What's that? That's the older guy. What the heck is his name?
Afria, yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, you can tune in. I'm guessing that's going to be on either Poker Go or WPT's YouTube live stream this Thursday. So y'all tune in for that to check out our very own Danny Marks, who plays obviously regularly here at TCH Dallas and Las Colinas and plays tournaments. He's commentated in here with us before. He's made final tables here. So really excited for Danny there. And sorry to kind of have the stream kind of cut out on us like this. It's very rare that it just stops. This was pre-recorded from last week, but it looks like we're not going to be able to get this one up. So if you guys have any further questions before we tune out of here, I'll put Mallory's info up one more time. Again, we're going to need some players this summer as the WSOP goes on. I'll put that up here for now. Aaron, final thoughts for you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, you were talking about some sort of local hometown heroes and stuff that have performed well. Also, just a reminder, today, Tuesday, the 28th, is the employees only event running out at the WSOP. So a lot of poker dealers and other people sort of affiliated in the poker sphere in the mix right now, battling their way towards the potential bracelet finish. We have a dealer down here in Austin who was a winner from, I think it was back in 2013 or 2015, something like that. So really cool that, casino employees get that opportunity to go and play for a bracelet. Big money as well. I think last year was something around $250,000 for first place. So big shout out to all of the poker dealers and all the staff just in general that work for us day in and day out, keeping this game that we love alive and running. So, whoever comes out on top of the casino employees event this year, kudos to them. Big congratulations, of course. Long ways to go in that one yet, as, just started this morning, but should be pretty exciting to keep up with that one. I think day 2 going to be tomorrow, and I believe they just played down to a winner after 2 days. I could be wrong about that, but
yeah. I got a buddy, Alex Green, Alex Optional, he goes by.
Yeah.
Alex is playing in that right now, so good luck to Alex. Hope he runs deep. And
probably a number of folks that we know out there. Prior to going the whole summer and dealing it out like a lot of poker dealers do when things get slow around the home front, go out there and deal. They go out, they fire that first tournament, the casino employees, and try to bring it home. So, cheers to all you guys. Bring it home. Make a deep run.
All right, man. Well, Aaron's not going to be with us for the next couple of weeks. He's going to be in Vegas, so we're going to be rooting you on. Tune in, Aaron. You'll definitely hear me giving you some shout-outs. I'm going to keep in touch with you as you make your deep runs there in Vegas. But I guess until next week, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll probably be back to our normal big game next week. It should be myself and RJ Dupree doing the commentary while Aaron's away. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in, for liking and subscribing. And for Eric Van Loozen and Aaron McAvoy, I think we are out.
All right. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time. Best of luck to everybody that's out there in Vegas. If you see me sporting the green,
the mustard,
the mustard hoodie or one of the other ones that I'll be wearing out there, come by and say hello. I'll be happy to meet you and say hello to you. So hope to see you out there. Good luck, everybody. We'll catch you next time.
All right. Go get them, brother.